the thing. I made some changes that might make it easier.
Okay.
Ah.
It's just nice. We have them grouped up. Okay. Can we just quickly? I'm gonna go quickly reintroduce the scoring criteria for this.
Yes.
Okay, so this is mainly for Master Hardcore and Legendary Hardcore. If a potion is useful for Get Fixed Boy, we might note that, but it's not going to influence the rankings, and obtainability also matters. So if you have to fish something up or it's hard to get in some other way, then that's going to hurt its ranking. And can both of you briefly introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hello, I'm Morsa. I play multiplayer hardcore challenges. Make some videos sometimes. I also play with this other guy. Person.
I'm Draeus. I've played in a lot of our multiplayer hardcore over.
Okay, and do we want to start with the lesser mana potion?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So, it's really easy to obtain. It's like the biggest positive that it's got going for it.
The problem
it also
is,
sucks.
Yeah, the problem is it also sucks.
So you have to get the merchants to have availability, but mana sickness matters a lot, and the alternative is mana regen. And we're going to talk about that later, but mana regen is really powerful.
Yeah,
it's a lot better
because it doesn't give you up to a 50% damage debuff. I believe that's additive, it's not multiplicative. I don't know if any of you know.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I don't know. I never use mana potions.
Either way, even if it is additive, which is like not as bad as if it is multiplicative, I think it's additive. That's still a huge penalty which you can just avoid with other mana recovery methods.
Exactly. And if you don't have a mana potion, it's very easy to switch weapons. Assuming that you're playing a challenge that doesn't restrict you to mage only. For whatever reason.
Even if you are restricted to mage only, there's a lot of mage weapons that use next to no mana. In particular, in early hard mode, you have the space gun and meteor armor. People love to hate on the space gun, but one of its nice uses is that you can switch to it while you recover mana for a few seconds, especially with mana recovery potions, and boom, you're back at full mana.
Yeah, even like the early game where you'd want the lesser potion, you have like Wand of Sparking, which you just sit for like 2 seconds and you're fine.
Yeah,
you basically never use the lesser one, mainly because glowing mushroom biomes exist.
On top of that, there's never a situation where I find myself needing to use the lesser potion. I always have glowing mushrooms, and it's just the nerf is so bad.
Because this technically might be a use at some point, do we want to say bottom of D? Or, like, can we come with at least one theoretical situation where we want to use this item?
So,
just
at the start of every world, unless I have a really extreme downside, I'm going underground. There's I guess I technically couldn't find a glowing mushroom sometimes, but...
Also, what is this going to help you do?
I want to put it in
going to let you cast? 50 mana is not a whole lot.
Yeah, maybe you get an early ore staff, but you don't find a glowing mushroom biome?
If you're in that situation, though, wouldn't you rather use blocks to wall stuff? Since...
I mean, not everyone walls stuff off, but I guess we are assuming optimal play, right?
We're
assuming, what this potion is going to do for someone who
I think it's top of F in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just I would never use that.
I guess I can't come up. I feel like there should be a situation where you might want to use this, but I can't come up with one. So I guess it could probably be F tier.
I feel like at that
you have to wait one whole day
wait.
at least to even gain access to it. And in that time you usually get glowing mushrooms, so
okay. Normal mana regen.
I think it's better than the lesser by a good bit.
Definitely.
But I would still maybe put it like D or C, I think.
How many people actually go jungle early though for Moon?
Yeah.
So it's fairly
the thing
common,
is,
especially because
you don't always have to get it from the jungle. There's also the option of getting it out of a herb bag.
That is RNG though.
Yeah, it is. But I do think that it has some use. It definitely bumps it out of F tier. And it's also nice if you have a high knockback mage weapon, I guess, and you're using it against regular enemies.
Yeah, because at that point,
Here's the
damage
thing,
matters
though.
more than.
If
Or
you
sorry,
have
knockback matters more
Moonglow,
than damage.
you have Moonglow, you can just make mana regeneration potions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
but
you're using this, not much.
you're not using it for more than like a couple days at most. Like 1 day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people overuse mana
But-
potions.
But I think that still earns it a D, in my opinion.
I'd say D tier.
Really? Okay, I was expecting maybe like C tier. You guys really hate mana potions.
I really hate mana potions.
I'm biased because I like never play mage. I think mage in general is like the worst class for hardcore because it's mostly glass cannon.
I actually play mage a decent amount, and I can tell you, mana potions suck. They're so bad.
Mage in
Just
general
mana
feels
regen.
kind of bad at a lot of points because Summoner, like
Yeah.
in theory, is like the most glass cannon class. The thing is that you have a lot of damage with Summoner, and that can usually deal with enemies that you might not spot yourself. So I actually found myself in hardcore often playing Summoner in situations where I was in a lot of danger because the minions just killed the enemies before they could like shoot stuff at me. Mage doesn't have that benefit, and one of the most dangerous situations in hardcore is when you get stuff like webbed or cursed or some other debuff where you can't use weapons. And Summoner is protected somewhat in those situations. Mage is not, and it also has no defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Just due to the fact that
I do think it does have the strong point, where you have Gemrobe and Wizard Hat potentially, and Demon Scythe, which I think is a pretty good spike for mage. But other than that, it's pretty.
Who gets Demon Scythe?
I do.
I've gotten it a decent amount.
Pretty good.
Never farmed for it, but sometimes you get lucky.
Granted,
it's always good.
Granted, one of the most recent runs I've done is a letter core restriction run, and my letter was D, so Demon Scythe was kind of like my only weapon.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we're getting somewhat off track here, though, because I feel like we should be focusing on the potions. Yeah.
So, good or bad on mage as a whole, I do think that this potion is like maybe top of D if we're.
Yeah, I'd say D
being
tier. I think our whole
I'm
discussion
not going to
about
argue too much because I also think people overuse mana potions. Maybe we're overhating it, but they deserve to be hated somewhat.
I see that this one has genuine uses. I think it deserves to be at the top of D. These next two, I think, bottom of D or top of F. That's my opinion. Because at this point, you have mana regen.
Why are we including the super potions? Okay, I guess super healing potion you get before endgame.
Super healing potion does have use.
Super mana potion. I don't even know the recipe for this one.
It's like pillar shards.
What? You're spending pillar shards on a mana potion?
It's so bad.
Hold on. This is bottom of F.
Okay, no.
Just
Super
for
mana
the
potion.
recipe.
Super mana potion is greater mana potion, fallen star, 3 crystal shards, and a unicorn horn. So it's just
what?
hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. I thought you were using like the shards from the pillars for this.
No, it's pretty chill.
Okay, why does that exist? It feels like it just makes the greater potion useless.
Yeah, well, I mean, you need to go out and explore and go to the Hallow to upgrade your potions.
I guess,
So.
but like you do that for the healing potions anyway. Anyway, I feel like this is like bottom.
Anyway, I would be okay with bottom of D, but I really think it's D or F, 100%.
I would just say like D. I don't. To be fair, whenever I play mage, I'm probably just going to be using a mana regen potion instead. So.
Do we put the super mana ones like right next to the greater?
I mean,
mana
put them above, but yeah, right next to it, just above it.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree
we got
with
the
that.
mana potions out of the way after way too much hating on me.
All right, bottled honey.
I hate this. Such a stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
Some people really use it for the honey buff.
Okay, the thing is, you can get the honey buff without the item, which also means that it's not as good as a healing potion. And you're also you're also going to the jungle and like getting this in a beehive in exchange for what exactly? You could just get a honey bucket instead, and that's just better.
I know, but I know some people just rock these in their inventory and use it for the honey buff instead of like a bucket, like during boss fights and stuff.
I think it has some uses because I think if you use it with the buff, it just gives you the honey buff, which
Yeah.
could
I think
have.
in theory,
I've seen it
that's
be useful.
The problem is that at least in hardcore, I basically always have buffs on in my inventory, so using that would automatically use all of my buffs. And if I don't have buffs in my inventory, I'm now substantially changing my inventory layout to get one honey buff instead of just making a pool of honey if I really needed a honey buff that bad.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think the best use for this is in combination with the void bag, because if you have the bag open, the quick buff uses the potions from your vault. So
yeah.
So like I guess you can toggle on and off your
I
other
think
buffs.
there's availability for some people to have strats
I
with
would
it, like for boss
say
fights,
it's
but I've never
between
used
C
it.
and D for me. I don't think it's very good, to be clear.
I would strongly disagree with this being anything above D tier. The reasoning being that as a potion, it is worse than a healing potion. It's what 80 HP, and it has the same cooldown. And the buff.
Oh yeah, you should never use this as like a healing potion.
Yeah, the buff mechanic just isn't practical to use in basically any situation. If we think about general exploration, you are going to have like buffs ready, or at least you should have buffs in your void bag for general exploration, because there are a ton of potions in the game, like we'll cover later, like Iron Skin, Regen, Featherfall, that are substantial boosts to your survivability. So unless you are always buffing, then trying to use the buff aspect of this healing potion will use all your other buffs. So that doesn't really
I've only seen people use it for boss fights in particular, for the honey buff.
Yeah, and I'm getting to the boss fight thing. The problem with the boss fight thing is you can just make a place down 2 stone blocks on the ground, like with a 2-block gap between them.
Yeah.
And you have that honey pool that you just walk in. So at best, it's a minor quality of life improvement during boss fights. That's its best use case, and I don't think that use case is enough to put it above D tier.
I still think it's better than regular mana potion, even if that's the only niche it's got.
I think that niche is still valid.
But I do think
because like I guess it depends on what our rating is, but I think kind of the option to have that sort of variety for your builds is fair, because like if you're putting honey in your arena, it's going to slow you down unless you bring a flipper potion. So like now you're just adding complexity, whereas like if you just throw these in your inventory, you're chilling.
If you use that 2-block method, then the amount it slows you down is nearly imperceptible. Like it's maybe 1/10 of a second of a delay.
Yeah, it's not much, but it exists.
I guess it technically saves you on arena prep.
You also have to think about the keyboard stuff, though, because you're now pressing the buff key in the middle of the boss fight, and that could mess up your movement more than 1/10 of a second of a delay, which you can account for. Like, I
want to talk about later.
on accounting for this.
All right, that's fine. Put it on D. I personally have never used it. I've heard of a lot of people using it for bosses.
Yeah. I think this could be top of D. I think that's a pretty fair spot to put it right now.
I think that just because some people use a strategy doesn't mean that strategy should automatically be validated. Like this is
absolutely. Mana potions are a great example.
Yeah, I think it goes along with mana potions of people try and make this item useful, but it's just not.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree.
Okay. Well, we
Bottled
have our
water.
First, I was gonna say first F tier, but it's not even our first F tier item.
So
counterpoint.
You're using glass for this, which is pretty expensive early. And it's got nothing going early. Or after that.
I'm not sure I agree with glass being expensive, but sure.
You get the best achievement in the game from this: unusual survival strategies.
Alright, we're putting it above regular mana potion.
Sure, maybe you somehow run out of healing potions.
Is so awesome.
Fine, maybe you run out of normal healing potions. I'm gonna exclude names here, but like, I'm just basing this off of, in some hypothetical situation, I don't know how you run out of healing potions, but I feel like that's more common than needing to use the lesser mana.
It could save you. It's better than a mushroom.
It's how much HP is this? 20?
Yeah, it's 20, I think.
Doesn't it have a lower cooldown? I forget its cooldown.
Like 45, 30? I don't know. I don't use them.
1 minute.
What?
No way.
I thought it had a lower cooldown.
But think about the achievement. It's so fun.
No, we're not including
I
achievements
am
for
comfortable
this.
with where it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Lesser healing
Counterpoint,
potion.
it's required for all your other potions.
Lesser healing
It's the
healing
We are
potion.
not. We are
as
not
well.
taking recipes into account here. Otherwise, a beamination would make a bottled honey not D-tier.
That's
Yeah.
fair, that's fair.
Okay.
But I'm saying
Alright.
in particular, it creates other buffs,
Yeah.
not like other items.
But we
Alright,
have to
anyways.
ignore that for tiering. Anyway,
Lesser healing, I would say A.
I'd say it's definitely a step below regular healing because of the glowing mushroom thing, but still insanely good.
I would.
You're going to be using this early game.
I would say
gonna
it's
get 'em from
not.
pots.
It's
You're
not
gonna be
A
chugging 'em.
tier because of how quickly it gets obsoleted by normal healing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Still
put
low. I
normal
mean,
healing
it's a
potion
solid
in
section
S
just, like,
tier
early game.
because it's so powerful for such a long time. So with that in mind, I think lesser could go into A or B. But if it's in B, I want it to be at the top pretty much.
The thing with these is like, there's no investment required, right? Like East to get, you're just gonna get them from pots and
Yeah,
chests and
that's
stuff, and then
fair.
Yeah.
in the very early game, you're just
Like,
gonna be
They
drinking
will
them
save your life
at a
pretty often.
reflex. Yeah, like yes, their only use case is like the first like maybe 20 minutes of the game, depending on how fast you go.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I just beeline glowing mushroom biomes too much, but I could agree with bottom of
Yeah.
B. Are we arguing over that, or?
I think we decide where it is in
sorry,
B after
yeah,
we put
yeah.
other stuff in there.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Alright,
normal
I
healing
want that
potion.
one in S.
Ooh.
The normal healing potion. I think it's that good.
I agree.
So keep in mind, I just came into this after having a 3-person health Deerclops fight with no healing potions. And I can tell you, not having healing potions makes most boss fights like multiple times harder. It's such a big deal. It's also very important in
Okay.
caving. It's useful for like
Here's a question from
so
me.
long.
Do you put normal healing potions above regen potions?
So
Hmm.
I think they're pretty comparable. But I would rather have normal healing potions if I was forced to run out of one or the other. Because
Yeah.
if I get comboed, I'll at least be able to survive because I can heal while I'm in iframes.
And I think
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
just
my
one thing
thought.
is like healing potions give you an instant boost to health where you otherwise would have just died. Whereas like yeah, regen is great, but it
Yeah.
takes a second.
I'm gonna
Also, like you're gonna have a bunch of these just in your inventory all the time.
They're like 0 cost.
Yeah,
For sure.
I feel like I'm arguing like everything's a lower tier than you two, but I'm gonna argue again that normal healing potions shouldn't be. I don't know if I'm gonna argue they shouldn't be an S tier or they should be bottom of S tier. The reasoning being that I would rather have lesser healing potions and regen potions than normal healing potions, and we're not counting all healing potions when we're considering this. So we have to think how much better is this potion than a lesser potion, and how long does this stay useful for? It stays useful for a pretty long time. It stays useful until you find a pinky, but that's not necessarily a whole run. And if you don't find a pinky, it also gets obsoleted post Skeletron.
I don't use restoration potions. I'm gonna just put that out there really. So I think they're chill.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Well, you said we're taking difficulty to obtain into account.
Yeah, and restoration
So-
potions, like, the pinky is RNG, so I can see that not necessarily being obtainable early, but post Skeletron, you basically always switch these out for restoration, or at least I.
For sure.
I
I mean, I usually grab the restoration potions from like the chests in Hell. It's hard to supply a full team with them in multiplayer because of like, you know, you need to have a mob farm basically to have enough pink gel. but the hell chests help a lot with that.
Yeah, if I get some from a health chest, I'll get them, but I'm not going out of my way to kill pinkies and like
But
make a bunch of these. I will just have like
life
100
crystal
regular healing
stage,
potions sitting in my thing.
yeah,
Okay,
like
Anyway,
life
I
crystal
would.
like-
stage all the way up to Skeletron is a pretty good run.
Okay,
for-
I could agree bottom of S, and then we can figure out where it is in S later.
Sure, I'm
Okay.
down for that.
Greater healing.
Greater.
Similar to
It's got less
regular
competition than the
healing,
regular
they're just-
healing.
They're just that's what you're gonna be running like in hard mode. More or less.
Yeah,
Is there really an alternative?
there isn't. Yeah,
I'd
now
say
that
it
I think
goes
about
higher
it,
than the last
yeah,
one.
this has to be higher than normal ones, and it's kind of making me think the normal ones shouldn't be S tier because there's so many alternatives to this that are often better. Like Strange Brew is just better on average because of the iframes.
You know what? I'm down to hear that. I haven't messed around with Strange Brew that much.
I rock strange brews fair enough often enough,
Yeah.
but I think the differences between the varieties are fairly minimal. I'm gonna be real, and I think the greater healing potions are just so easy to get that you're just gonna have a fat stack of these in your inventory and like not worry about it.
And I guess my other thing is that the healing potion type of potion is just so incredible that I think,
Yeah.
you know, even if compared to the other healing potions, it's not as good. It's still a healing potion, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's
I
still
feel
gonna
like
save
you.
you.
I feel like you
Sure.
have to take the alternatives into account here because it's an either-or situation. It's not like you can use normal
True.
healing and Strange Brew. You're locking yourself out of Strange Brew when you use this.
Yeah. I guess what I'm meaning by that is like Love Potion is also on this list. You know?
Well, I don't really
Just because
see
something
how...
else is also good doesn't make that item worse.
But it does
Right.
it does here because these items are mutually exclusive. You're not locking yourself out of like Featherball
Yeah.
regardless of what healing potion you use, but you're locking yourself out of other healing potions, so you have to compare them when
Yeah.
making the tiers.
I would say you can consider like just not giving any more props to
Look, I would say
The
if
regular
you're
healing
making a tier
potion,
list of healing
as soon as
potions,
you get
then you
there.
compare them to each other. But if you're comparing just on a whole list of potions, like
Um,
regular healing
I'm
potion
okay
is still going
to
to be
move
better
it down
than like
to
a
A for
flipper
now,
potion.
but if we end up seeing that the regular potions just aren't as good, we might want to talk about that later.
Yeah, well, first off, where are we putting the super healing? Because this is like 50
I think it's about
extra
the
HP
same.
at the cost of celestial shards. It feels kind of meh.
I'd say like B tier, maybe. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's for one fight.
It's
you can make
good.
it.
Technically, you can use it on
it's
the last
good.
pillar, but why would you?
Yeah.
It's good,
I can
but
see.
it's good for such a short amount of time. I could be
I
convinced.
wouldn't
Here's the
even
thing,
say
though.
it's good.
Difficulty
It's
to
50
get, though,
extra
is, like,
HP.
Difficulty to get those like non-existent, right? Like you
Well-
get this for free. So like make a couple before Moonlord and may as well, right?
I forget, do shards scale? Not the shards, the fragments scale in multiplayer?
Yes, they do. It's a weird scaling formula, though. So it's like diminishing returns, I think.
So you might not have enough to craft both this and weapons. for
Often
everyone.
we don't. Often we don't, and weapons are definitely first priority.
I feel like
so I'd say
because
it's
of that,
worse than a lot of
obtainability
them.
is an issue then.
So where are you
Yes.
thinking? Like C tier, D tier?
Yeah, probably C tier. Like you do craft this
I
in
agree with
most
C.
single player runs, but it loses a lot of potency in multiplayer, which I assume we're accounting for.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I-
just in the runs that I can think of, we usually like make however many we can with the leftovers and spread them out, and that's it.
yeah, BC, somewhere in there I think is appropriate.
I'm gonna do bottom of B for now because it is an item you use
I
basically every
like that a
round.
little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still want to
Okay.
put the normal healing potion in like A tier here because we have so many alternatives and well,
I think we just need more context
Yeah,
with the
let's do
rest
let's
of
do the
the
honey thing.
list.
this,
Honey
this
fin.
feels
These
like
things-
F tier. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe D tier, but
So-
like First off, I
What?
want to hear Morsa
A tier,
defend. I
A
want to
tier.
hear Morsa defend himself on this one. You
Okay.
put this in S tier in your tier list. I need to hear. Your
Whoa.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Listen to me. Listen to me. It's just better than a regular healing potion. It's 120 compared to 100.
Hold on.
It's just
You're
better.
not comparing it to the regular healing potion at this point in the
sure
game.
am.
You're
You're
comparing
comparing
it
it
to
to
restoration potion.
Strange Brew and Restoration Potion.
Yeah, you have to honey fish for this.
Ant?
Okay, so I just want to do some
I don't
quick
care
math
too much
here
about the.
on just how inefficient this is in terms of what you're getting for your time investment. If we look at a regeneration potion, this is 2 HP per second. This is 120 HP per minute, and it lasts for 8 minutes. So one potion, you can see the amount of HP you're getting. 120 times 8 minutes, that's like just under 1,000. I think it's like 960 HP or something. You have to fish for this, so one of these potions is harder to get than one regeneration potion, and instead of getting 100 HP per minute, you're getting 120. You're getting 20 extra HP instead of 960 for the exact same cost. Now, you can fish a whole lot of these for like more HP during a boss battle because you can use both, but the difference in time investment is absurd.
I'll explain myself here.
Okay.
I don't care that much about the time investment. In our multiplayer runs, there's a lot of downtime where we're just kind of chilling, chatting in VC, and just hanging out and just doing menial tasks. So we kind of just chill and like fish a little bit. I don't know. Also, like in multiplayer, the possibility that someone else does it is pretty high. Like I can just be doing something else while Zerhop fishes up a bunch of honeyfin. And then so that's my first thing is I don't care that much about the time investment. I can see that argument, like, yeah, it's a lot of time. So I can see that knocking it down. But then second of all, I get your math about like health per unit of time. But in hardcore, especially harder difficulties like legendary, I find that the damage you're going to like, for example, contact damage is super high. So you're going to be taking huge hits at once. So like the healing over time, I don't value that as much as just one big boost in health. Because that's what will save you from a hit.
Of a healing potion in hardcore is to protect against like burst damage. Basically getting 2-tapped by something. A healing potion will usually bring you up to the health that you can survive another hit.
Yeah, so like clearing that threshold into taking one extra hit.
It's not the same purpose as a regeneration potion.
I agree with that. My counterpoint here would be that it isn't always better to have, say, a honeyfin compared to a restoration. For example, if you get hit for a lot of damage and you panic heal with a potion, then if you heal all the way to full, then you're losing out on all the regen you could be getting. Whereas if you heal with a potion with a lower cooldown with a restoration, you can still get that natural regen.
See, and this is where I start to agree with you.
Yeah, later if you get hit again as well, then if you get hit, say, 50 seconds later, then if you have a restoration potion, you can again get that burst healing. But if you used a honeyfin earlier, now you're out of luck. And you just have to survive until that potion cooldown.
So this is something that I've thought about, but the stage of the game where you're comparing restoration potions and honeyfins is the stage in the game where you're going to have molten armor and a whole lot of warding. And you'll be mostly taking chip damage from like Wall of Flesh and maybe Skeletron, BB. So something that gives more heal per second in your heal potion is generally better at that stage in the game. I wouldn't say honeyfin is garbage though. I think it's useful, but I think it's a lot worse than restoration in my opinion.
Where would you rate this? I'm curious.
Probably like C-.
And more so,
I don't think it's very good.
Are you maintaining this as an S tier potion?
I mean, okay, if we're really seriously taking into consideration like difficulty to obtain, I would probably put it like A. That's what I would say. I just value the burst healing quite a bit more.
So you're saying that
That's fair.
without taking into consideration, this would be like top of S tier then or something.
Well, I mean, it's just strictly better than a healing potion.
The thing is,
So
that
then
it's
20
strictly,
HP more.
it's strictly better than a healing potion, but it's strictly better for a very short period of time.
My question is, if you're going to be using Honeyfin, and you're going to be putting that in the top of S tier right now, would you be putting the restoration potion above it?
My question would actually be...
Probably put it, yeah, maybe a little bit above it.
Yeah, my question would be, how can Honeyfin
Alright.
ever be higher than Super Healing Potion? Because Super Healing Potion is just better,
Mm.
and it has the same obtainability problems. Granted, it's a limited resource as opposed to a time investment, but I would rate those as a pretty similar problem in obtainability.
I mean, I don't think you need it that much for Moonlord. Like, that's all you're going to be using for is Moonlord, whereas Honeyfin is going to be, for anything, any task you're doing, and like
I feel like a
later half of pre-hard mode.
I feel like a super healing potion could realistically save you with that extra 50 HP though.
Yeah, I'm not really sure
I just
what
think the
fight...
Especially
usable
if you're
time
using
is
Charm
a
of
lot
Myths.
less.
And I use Charm
You're
of
only
Myths a
using it
good
for
bit.
Moonlord. That's it.
I guess I could agree with this up to right below the super one, because the super one is just flat
I
out
like
better.
that spot. I like that spot a lot, actually.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Strange Brew. I have no experience with this thing.
So there's some
They're
upsides and
funny.
downsides to this. The downside is it's RNG, and you really don't want
Yeah.
RNG on your healing potion. You want a reliable source.
I have messed with it a bit. I pressed heal with one of these and got like potion sickness for 2.5 minutes once. That could end a run.
I don't think it can go up to 2.5 minutes. 1 second.
I don't know. It was ridiculous. I think it was around 2 minutes.
The
Which,
thing is, Terraria shows 2 minutes.
still pretty
really,
run-ending.
Yeah, Terraria shows 2 minutes really weirdly. I don't know what's wrong with the counter with potions, but it will
It says
show
up to
2 minutes.
70 seconds of potion sickness.
Yeah, but I have also gotten that 2-minute notification when it only was like 70 seconds or whatever, because Terraria shows 2 minutes. I think when it's like more than 65 or so seconds, then it goes down to 1 minute, and then 5 seconds later it goes down to like 59 seconds. So it's really misleading.
Yeah, it goes like just by the like minute step. So if it's like, is it greater than a minute? You're still at 2 minutes. All right, now you're at a minute. Now you're at 50 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
The thing with this is, like, on average, I think it's like almost exactly as good as a healing potion, but the iframes can save you.
Yeah.
The iframes are fun.
Yeah, I really hate RNG on stuff that you depend on, because this is like one of your lifelines. You don't want to be playing the lottery in the middle of a boss fight, but on average it is better than a healing potion, and it's very cheap to get. Because
the floor is 70 health, which is still
it could kill you.
Decent.
I think it is about as good as a healing potion. It's clearly a lot cheaper. It's got a bit of bonus, but it could kill you.
Actually, it could also save
let's say
you,
it
though.
averages about.
It could save you.
Here's the thing, you can kind of control when it saves you, because let's say you're about to get hit for a really bad amount of damage, like say in the Wall of Flesh fight, you messed up and you're somehow about to get hit by the mouse. So that's like, what, 200, 300, 400 damage on these higher difficulties. You drink this right before you get hit, assuming you're not already at full HP, and you get that brief window of invincibility. I think it's like 2/3 of the time. So
60%, you get some amount of invincibility.
Yeah. So if you play like that, it can save you, and I think it saves you more often than it kills you.
That's fair. I think it averages out to be fairly similar to just regular healing potions.
I would
the,
also say
RNG.
it's less obtainable than a regular healing potion as well.
It's less obtainable, but you can get this in most playthroughs. The Skeleton Merchant isn't that uncommon.
True.
Yeah,
I would
but it is like every other moon phase.
Yeah, I would want to put this above the grade or the normal one, just because on average it's better, and it's not difficult to obtain at all. If you get this, you should be using it.
I
Fair.
agree. I
Yeah.
do think that Restoration Potion should be competing with this harder than it does with the regular Healing Potion. So if you ask me, I think it goes right below the regular healing, but that's kind of a nitpick more than anything else.
I feel like
Yeah, I think they're
taking
fairly similar.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
fine.
taking obtainability into account is mainly a reason of, how would I say this? Describing to people whether or not they should go for this. It's not really something you go for here. It's, do you have the chance to use it or not?
It's just if you bump into it,
Yeah.
you buy it.
Yeah, if you see a skeleton merchant, buy some. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you guys
to be
okay with
clear,
this being higher?
yeah, I'm okay with
I'm
that.
fine. I'm good.
Okay.
Lesser Restoration.
I forgot this existed, to be honest. I don't even remember how you craft a lesser one.
I think this goes into F because
You
the opportunity cost
combine a
of
lesser
drinking
mana
that
and a
is
lesser
so bad.
healing.
Like
Hold on,
these just get crafted into regular Restoration, right?
I'm trying
okay,
to, like,
this is
find the
only an
wiki
old
page for
gen.
this.
This is only an old
Why
gen.
is this on our tier list then?
F tier. Doesn't exist anymore.
This doesn't exist. It's in F tier. Okay, normal one.
Yeah,
I guess
this
you're gonna
one-
put it like
Strange
S
Brew.
tier, like top of
this
S.
one has to be higher than Post Strange Brew and regular Healing Potion. It's so easy.
I think it sits right there.
Yeah. If you kill
think
a Pinky,
Raider's
this
better.
Is like what. This is what you're making with that Pinky stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Mining Potion.
It's
I'd
pretty
say
good.
A or B tier. I don't know. I mean,
It can be
I
really
nice
like it,
early.
but it doesn't really
agree.
improve your survivability.
I could
So,
not
I don't
agree
know
with
how-
A or B tier because even for max mining loadouts, this is not necessary.
I think it's nice early game sometimes. It's definitely weaker than like a lot of the actually good early game potions. I think I'd put it in C tier personally.
Yeah, this is a quality of life item, and
That's
I feel
fair.
like
But-
for quality of life, it should go in C.
But it can be quite nice for dodging spawns because of the bonus to mining speed.
Yeah, I think if you get one of these really
Like-
early game, it makes your early game rush a lot nicer. But yeah, it is kind of just like a quality of life thing where like in hardcore it doesn't really increase your survivability much. I just like mining
I'd say
fast.
it does also
So-
help with early hard mode if you're mining for hard
Yeah.
mode ores.
Well,
Definitely drink one of these and like you can run away from stuff better.
yeah, it's useful. It just speeds things up. I'd say C tier.
Yeah.
I'd say one thing about like the max mining build, in hardcore, like there's an opportunity cost, a pretty significant opportunity cost for max mining build. Like, I mean, I guess you can do like
Yeah.
food and stuff like that, but like you're gonna need to put an accessory on the chisel. You know, like if you have the armor, you're gonna have no defense, so you probably don't want to use the armor. So potion's pretty nice.
Keep in mind, you can always get jumped with your mining armor on, and that could kill you.
Yeah.
My one
heart rate
potion.
counterpoint to that
Yeah?
is you're usually mining, at least if you're doing, say, a chlorophyte rush or just a general mining rush, you will often be able to just have Hunter active at the same time. And if you have max mining speed and Hunter, it's very easy to just not get hit because you're in the walls constantly. So I wouldn't really say the lack of
Oh,
defense
yeah.
from mining armor is much of an issue.
I agree. I just think that it's possible to mess
There's
it up.
still just inherent
Whereas
risk,
something
and
like
you can also just
Hollowed,
like forget
kind of
to swap it off
impossible
later.
to.
I suppose.
So
Yeah, I wouldn't really say that's a huge issue, but I can see it. Okay, Heart Reach.
it's definitely not a big issue. Heart reach
reach?
is
I'd say like bottom of B is my initial thought.
so sometimes it's nice to be able to store the hearts though.
It's true.
It's
It's
one of the things I
situational.
don't like about it. So like in Queen Bee, all the time I'll try to kill the regular enemies and then save the hearts for the later stages of the fight.
I wouldn't put that as
Heart
a
Reach sucks
minus
for
for
that.
Heart Reach because you can just not
Me
use it in
neither.
those situations, and it's great for like wall
Yeah.
flesh, where if you don't take the hearts, you're just not
Yeah.
gonna be able to use them.
To be
And-
clear, I still think this is a good potion.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's not always good.
the Destroyer as
Uh,
well. for the probes because
Yeah.
the hearts are going to be so scattered that you can't really save them that effectively, as well as
Yes,
the
yeah.
pumpkin and frost moons because there's a lot of just stuff on the ground that can deal massive amounts of damage to you in the moon invasions, and heart reach is really nice there because you don't actually have to go on the ground and get hit.
One thing to
Yeah.
consider though is obtainability. You kind of need to go fishing, or it's like post Skeletron
It's
from
pretty
the
common
obsidian
in
crates.
the obsidian crates, so that is nice about it.
Yeah, but I don't really get obsidian crates in most runs.
Or not obsidian crates, the
The
chest.
chest, the obsidian
Oh, yeah,
chests.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like you're either gonna have to fish for it or post Skeletron. So
Because you
like
have to
obtainability is a little
fish,
harder.
Yeah, I feel like
So I'd
it's
say like
below mining potion.
bottom of below mining. Oh really?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna fish for this potion. I generally get enough to use it when I want to, but it's such a minor upgrade that half the time, like, I just forget to use it because it's nice, but
Yeah.
it usually isn't a win or lose like thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the obtainability is pretty close to mining potion. Not
No,
like the
mining
same,
potion
obviously.
is nowhere near the same as in terms of obtainability because you can craft
Well,
infinite
mining potion needs antlion mandible.
Yeah, and that's
That's
easy to
true.
get because you normally go to underground desert at some point in pre-hard mode for like
Well,
chisel and
yes.
punch and stuff.
Yes, for sure. But it does depend. Like, generally you're not going to have access to mining early game. It'd be most helpful.
Yeah.
I do think heart reach, you could put it, I think it deserves to be right next to mining potion.
Yeah,
I guess
so.
I
I'm
can
kinda
see it
torn.
above. I guess I can see it above mining because obtainability isn't good, but you also don't need it in enough situations for obtainability to really be
Yeah.
a problem. Because I'm thinking maybe you use
Yeah,
this for,
exactly.
like,
I've never run out of these things.
yeah, I feel like you use
Yeah.
this 4 times in a run. You use it for wall, destroyer, and the 2 moon invasions, and you probably get
Yeah.
that much. From
And it's
it.
good at that.
Also, if you're doing any just like incidental fishing for anything else, you'll get these from crates like through the wazoo. So you'll have enough if you're doing any fishing for other
Don't
reasons.
you
Yeah.
need crimson tigerfish? So you need to be fishing specifically into the crimson.
No, but you get them from crates. You just get them
Oh,
from
right,
crates.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just like any crates you opening, you'll get these.
Okay, calming
Alright.
potion.
So that's what's like incidental.
Calming potion, I think, is in a lucky spot just because it's in the sky fishing pool. I don't like fishing. I'm never going for calming potion, but I do think it's useful. And it has a pretty long duration.
What are its
I
use
like
cases?
the buff. I like the buff for like building
generally
arenas,
hard
building
mode.
farms.
And farms, yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I put
It has
this
a
down
lot of
fairly
use
low
cases.
in my own tier list, but I guess I could see it being more useful than I gave it credit for. I just kind of hate fishing in general, and it doesn't feel like it really helps that much. But I guess if you sky fish for like bundle, then you might get this.
Yeah.
Where would you put
Yeah.
this tier wise?
I would
I'd
put
say
it at
C
the
tier.
bottom of B, top of C.
Really, you'd put this
Somewhere
above
in there.
Heart Reach? I feel like Heart Reach is more useful.
would put it,
I
like,
love
right below
these
heart reach,
things
I think.
for the pillars. Is one of the hugest uses for it. It
Does
makes
it
the pillars
actually
significantly
decrease
easier.
Pillar spawn rates?
It decreases the. I think it decreases the mob cap and spawn rate. But it could be
the
wrong
wiki
about the
says
mob
it
cap.
only doesn't work against Pumpkin Moon, Frost Moon, and Frost Legion.
Huh. If it works against pillars, then that's like a genuine, like, important use case, then yeah, I could definitely see it
Yep.
being better. Okay.
There's 40% less mob cap.
It might
and
be
then
better than
also
the
reduces the
Honeyfin. No,
rate
it-
by
I
wouldn't-
39%.
If this works on pillars, this is 100% better than Honeyfin.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you. Pillars is
Yeah, I think so.
dangerous, and it's also nice generally in hard mode. Can save your life. I don't mind that.
Okay. Builder potion.
Okay, yeah, this is obviously really good. 45 minutes is broken.
I don't know about broken because it's just a quality of life buff, but it is nice.
Early game, if
I
you
would
get a
argue
builder
it's not
potion,
just
you're set.
quality of life. I think if you get one of these really early game, just it does increase your survivability quite a bit. Just being able to build faster and farther away is super good. Just blocking off enemies, bridging stuff.
I
It's
have to
just really
disagree
nice.
with that a bit. As someone who loves blocking off enemies, 90% plus of the time you can get away with just placing fewer blocks a bit more conservatively in
Yeah.
ways that, like, for example, if you want to trap a slime, instead of completely building the 2 up, 2 on top of it, 2 on the other side using 6 blocks, you can just place like 1 block on one side, 1 on top, 1 on the other side if you don't have this potion active. It is nice. It sometimes lets you move a bit faster, but it's not as important for blocking things off as people think. You can block stuff off just fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can
like
get
it
away
for
with
the
it. It
block
just makes things
reach.
a lot easier. The range is another
Um,
thing. Like if you're tunneling, and if you're ever in a point where you're tunneling, the range is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
range
like the
is
block
nice. The range is
reach.
nice.
Just like +3 block reach for 45 minutes, I think brings it above like bottled honey.
Yeah, it's definitely above bottled
Just don't-
honey, but I think it's below mining.
I don't think
because
it's better than mining
will
potion though.
speed up your gameplay in terms of getting ores and stuff, unless you just blaze through the under. Actually, Builder does let you build rails across an entire world faster.
Yeah.
That is true. Building a rail, you're gonna want these.
Yeah, but I guess that is purely a time save. So
yeah,
I guess
I think the
below
use case is quite limited.
I'd say
but
mining and
if you,
builder are pretty
when you want it, it's
interchangeable.
pretty nice. So yeah, I'd say like right below mining's fine.
Yeah.
I just think it
Titan.
is underrated by people. I think
Titan.
people will just be like,
It is
"Oh, it's completely
underrated
useless."
for sure.
Yeah. Who the hell uses Titan potions?
Titan-
This one, I will agree, should
It's-
be rated badly.
I would
I
put it in
think
D
the-
tier.
Only boss I've thought about using Titan against is like Brain of Cthulhu. That's it. It's like
There's
D.
some nice strats for like using like Night's Edge Wall of Flesh. You probably want a Titan potion just to throw the hungry back, but like I don't know. Also, it's like
niche,
for one class
but
in
it does
particular.
have some
pretty
uses.
much. Like you only really care for melee. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I feel like above bottled honey, just because I don't think
I think it goes
bottled honey
below
has a
bottled.
legitimate use case.
Eh,
I feel
You know,
like
it
I'd
has
rather,
uses, they're just
I'd
very
rather
limited.
do a melee run where I can't use bottled honey than a melee run where I can't use a Titan's potion.
you know what? Fair.
Yeah, I'd say top of D. It's not that great, but has some uses.
Like, it sometimes does
They're
something
not great uses, but
that you can't
might
do
want.
without the potion. Bottled honey only does
Yeah.
stuff you can do with other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have alternatives for bottled honey.
Flippers.
This one,
I'm partial because I love making
it's
water.
so
arenas,
weird.
but
The
it's
thing
not good.
is, sometimes Flipper can be decent.
When?
Alright, do you wanna take it away?
I mean, okay, particularly for like restricted runs, it's free mobility. Yes. Freaking you know, you have Featherfall. Featherfall's great, but Flipper is just free mobility. So there's that.
But like, even if you somehow
So-
restricted potions to the individual letters, it shares the letter with Featherfall, and I never rather use.
No.
Flipper than
We
Feather.
don't restrict it. We're saying like if you don't have any other accessories, you still have access to this as
So,
a potion.
Let's say you don't have a hook, and you don't have like double jumps for some reason. In that case, Flipper is actually pretty decent.
The thing is, how is it not just worse Featherfall though?
Would you rather fight like I don't know, Destroyer with Featherfall and no hook, or like a water arena and Flipper potion?
Featherfall no hook, 100%. Because with Featherfall, you can, first off, you can use rails for hooking if you don't have a physical hook. Second off, you can use a gravitation to not need a hook and get infinite flight with that. So you just stay above the Destroyer the entire fight, and you just occasionally.
Wait, what about
change
like
directions.
twins?
Oh, 100%. You'd use Featherfall and gravitation. I've done that fight before. It's a great alternative to wings.
Yeah.
Because you can dodge
I guess
all the
I
red
just
lasers, and you have enough velocity to deal with Spasmatism stashes.
I tend to not like grab potions purely because of multiplayer and like people aren't gonna stay connected, and you're just gonna get randomly smacked by the eye and stuff like that. So for like multiplayer large restriction runs, Flipper tends to be the best option where everybody can like have mobility and stay in an arena together, where we're not like just one person
thing
fucks
is,
off with the boss.
Even for that, like, separating the twins isn't really that bad because now everyone only needs to dodge one twin instead of 2 twins, though.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what if like people just take them away and then like 3 people are left at spawn? Like, where did you guys go? And then they're just not playing the game. That's what I mean more so.
I feel like this is such a niche use case.
It is. It's really bad. I put it like DP,
it's so niche.
But I'm partial because we've made an unhealthy amount of water arenas, and also it's another actually valid use.
I don't like them.
Putting honey in the bottom of your arenas.
Yeah, that is the actual use for Flipper.
Okay, I guess
is
I
that
could
it
see
makes
this
so you
above
pass through
Titan,
honey like
maybe?
instantly.
Okay, maybe above Titan because of that. It's like it makes you move a
Yeah.
tenth of a second
I think it's
faster.
just above Titan because you can genuinely die to like getting slowed down by honey, and
I've had
Flipper will stop that.
some fun Plantera and Duke arenas where you use grav and you like go on the ceiling and the floor. You just like kind of circle ceiling and floor, and just the floor and the ceiling have just a row of honey on them, so you always have honey. So
Okay,
it's fun.
Summoning potion.
Yeah.
Our first fish potion for damage.
It's.
I would say like bottom of C. I'm not a huge fan.
Really?
I don't.
Just
So
fishing in underground jungle is pretty out of the way.
yeah, I don't go out of the way to get summon potion unless it's relevant to my run. But it is
If you're doing,
good.
like if you're doing any restriction run where you don't have summoner, you just can't use it. Like if you're doing just a class run and you're not summoner, it's completely useless.
Like
the
if I'm comparing
Max it provides is like
to-
marginal damage, which is like
if I'm well,
The damage
it's not
can be
marginal.
useful. It's a decent chunk of damage, and especially for like events and stuff, you want your summons to be able to kill the enemies before they get to you. People say like just stack survivability, and then if you can't die, then you'll win any fight. The thing is, in higher hardcore difficulties for mobbing, that isn't always true, because sometimes you just have so many mobs that they're going to get through to you if you don't have enough damage, and then you can't always stack enough DR to survive, because some of the mobs are dealing like 500 damage, which is insane.
And it is nice for the knockback, just in case you're fighting a fight with minions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean that the boss has minions in.
I feel like it has to be better than the Builder Potion. I'm not sure if I'd put it above Mining Potion.
yeah. I
I'd
agree
say
with
it's similar with mining.
Honestly, it has to be above Honeyfin. This is me dissing Honeyfin some, but like, a Summon Potion is just way better in a fight, in basically any fight.
I feel
than a
like
Honeyfin.
life reach is better than
that.
summon
Here's one
potion.
thing
then.
though. The summoning potion has quite a narrow lane, whereas like any run you're gonna be able to use Honeyfin, whereas like if you're doing
What do you
any
mean
amount of
able?
restriction,
The only restriction.
if you're using any amount of restriction, you're not going to be able to use summoning potion basically.
I don't
And
think-
I can't remember the last time that I've not done a restriction run, so
I
maybe
don't
I'm biased.
think
But
that we should be counting in restricting all minions as like normal hardcore
That's
play.
fair.
Like, I feel like in average,
fair.
if I'm
Yeah.
going to fish in the
Well-
underground jungle anyway, I'd rather have summoning potions than Honeyfin, because Honeyfin
The thing is,
a
I would,
so marginal.
yeah,
yeah, that's fair.
yeah, I would agree. Like if you gave me 2 options, regular healing potion and a summoning potion or Honeyfin, I would take the regular healing potion and summoning potion for sure.
But you can have Honeyfin
Yeah.
and summoning potion.
No,
That's the thing.
That's even more fishing. This has to be above Honeyfin, but I don't know if Honeyfin is above like this stuff. I feel like it's not.
Honeyfin is not above at least.
Rest
I
in
don't think.
peace.
I think it's above mining, but I don't think
Adventure,
it's.
I have a question for you. Do you know about like the 1 block of honey fishing trick?
No. What's that?
Oh.
So at the bottom of your
Yeah.
fishing pool, you can break 1 block, put a bucket of honey, and then drop like a silt or sand block onto it, and then break the block, opening your water pool to that like little honey block, and it'll count as honey for fishing.
The entire pool.
Yeah. So it makes it a lot easier, so you don't need to fill up like a whole honey pool.
That isn't really my problem with honey fishing. My problem with honey fishing is it's slow and it's not regular fishing, so you're not getting any endurance or any other like jungle fishing drops. So it's directly, these two are directly competing, and this is substantially better.
That's fair.
Okay.
Danger sense.
Danger sense. Okay, I guess you two are going to
this is seed dependent. Obviously. It's super cheap. That's the other thing. If you're in a snow biome, guarantee it, as long as you have some sand from somewhere, you can make danger sense potions for like the entirety of early game caving, which is good.
Here's my, first of all, I just want to say I would put it in S tier. My defending is, like Draeus said, it's super easy to get. There's no downside. Like the barrier to entry, non-existent, super easy. What's the upside? It just saves your entire run.
This might be me not caring about traps much because remember, we're not counting get fixed boy here, so we're talking about normal, master, and legendary. If we want to divide the traps up, we have dart traps, which you're not really getting danger sense before you have, say, 140 HP to not die to dart traps. Boulder traps.
The main thing is explosive traps. Yeah, for sure. That's the main thing, because those will just one-shot you, and you can't dodge it. Like, once you step on the pressure plate, you're dead.
Yeah. The thing is, explosive traps are really rare. There's like 5 of them per world. And after Skeletron...
I've just died to them way too much.
Yeah, after Skeletron, you get the mechanical lens. So this is purely for explosive traps pre-Skeletron on... I was gonna say on legendary worlds, but you have to like hold out the dart trap or whatever. So we can say all worlds pre-Skeletron.
That's one thing to note, is it does get buffed quite a bit just on legendary because you can't see the trap like with holding out a pressure plate. So
I'd say even with all of that restriction, I think it's at top of B. Granted, it's like easily S tier in like get fixed boy and no traps, in my opinion.
I can't agree with this being better than
I agree with you. I think it does drop a lot.
I guess the way I think about it is...
I could go either way with Lister.
Is that for newer players, it's probably going to be a lot better. Like, yeah, the better your trap vision is, you can just notice traps and not step on them. But it's also just nice to have. Like, if you have the potion, you're pretty much not going to die to a trap, guaranteed.
Yeah, sure. I'm just, like, thinking about what would hinder a run more, like not being able to use healing potions until normal healing potions, or not being able to use this potion. And I feel like not being able to use healing potions is more likely to end a run.
I would put it in between those two healing potions, personally.
I think rating healing potions with buff potions is just kind of weird, because it's completely different function.
You might want to bump those healing potions up a tier.
Yeah, in my tier list, like, I just didn't have healing potions because I felt like they weren't really terrible.
Yeah, okay. It's completely different thing.
Ammo reservation. Right above bottled honey, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I could accept either side of bottled honey.
It has some niche uses.
I've used it to dupe sand before.
Not that great. Yeah, I mean, sand gun?
Sand gun.
I mean,
you can do sand with it.
Bottled honey.
That's about it.
Honestly, why did we put bottled honey above regular mana potion? I feel like there are like some use cases for regular mana, and bottled honey still has just that one quality of life scenario.
That's fair. I can agree with that.
I think that quality of life scenario is better than mana potion, but maybe that's just my mana potion hate showing. I hate mana potion so much. Okay. It's so bad.
Life Force.
This is really good.
Here's the thing. The effect is super good. The obtainability, pretty tough. But I think the effect
it's worth going out of your way for.
Like, especially in Legendary, if we're talking about like Legendary for the worthy, the amount of things that just go from 1-shot to 2-shot, like, it's really good.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't know where to place it. Probably A tier.
I would say top of A. maybe S.
I want to move the lesser healing
obtainability is pretty
potion
hard.
up. I want to move the lesser healing potion up a tier.
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather do a run with no lesser healing than no life force, because if we're talking about a low difficulty, I don't.
Oh
care
yeah,
about
I
lesser
think
healing.
lesser healing is less powerful than life force for sure. But I think there needs to be a tier of division between it and the B tier
We
potions.
have nothing in A tier right now.
I don't know.
I guess,
Lesser healing
ultimately-
in particular is just bad because you get normal healing so quickly after.
That's true.
Nah.
I
Well,
guess with
I could
Life
go
Force,
either
the main
way,
question
but
is how much do you hate fishing? Because if you really hate fishing, then it's harder to get, so it's like A tier. If you don't mind fishing, it's S tier because the effect is just so
even
good.
if you hate fishing, you're going to get this for like Moonlord and the harder fights,
Well,
whatever.
Not Moonlord, because Moonlord's actually fairly easy on Legendary, normal Legendary, compared to everything else, because
Yeah.
like, none of its damage gets buffed. But for like other fights, I 100%
Right, yeah.
agree. Like,
No moon boulders.
in particular, I think Destroyer
Yeah.
Head might still one-shot Wistus. I feel like I remember
Oh
losing
yeah.
a run to a
It
Destroyer
can.
Head
It
with
can.
Life Force and Endurance and
It's
Worm
dependent
Stomp.
on your defense.
If you have like
and life.
max tank build, you can take a hit, but are you going to be at max health during the entire destroyer fight?
I think
Probably
No.
I
not with all the
remember.
probes
I
and
think I
lasers.
remember one of my legendary hardcore runs. I was running Squire armor for some godforsaken reason, and I had done twins, and then I was doing destroyer next, and I had a life force and endurance and warm scarf and full warding, and I still died to the destroyer had one shot because I forgot to use a hunter potion, and I was on the bottom of my arena. And it just came up
Yeah.
from
Oh.
underground, so there was no reaction time allowed.
Yeah,
So
no,
Life Force
just
cannot-
legendary.
Suffice to
It can't
say,
always
life force
save
is cracked.
you, but it is often going to save you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Life force
just-
is cracked. No question.
really good.
It's really good.
I have to say,
Endurance.
I think endurance is better.
I agree.
endurance you have for more time, so I think that's fair. It's also easier
It's
to
more
get.
obtainable, and it synergizes with health regen a lot better. That's the other thing.
We should maybe like say what these potions do in case some people don't
Life
know.
Force is plus 20%
Yeah.
max HP, endurance is minus 10% damage taken, and it stacks additively with other damage reduction modifiers. That's
Yes.
the important part.
So if you're using a worm scarf, endurance potion is like very effective.
It's minus 12%
Yeah.
damage taken, and if you also have, say, a frozen turtle shell and turtle armor, then that's like substantially more. I forget exactly. Hold on. Like the turtle shell is 25. The
Yeah.
32% from the armor plus worm scarf. So that's like greater than 50%. So endurance potion becomes like 20 to 25% less damage taken in that scenario. So it's much better if you're already running a tank build, which a lot of people do on these higher difficulties.
If you're playing hardcore, it's the most optimal thing to do. If the option's there.
Even if you're not running a tank build, it's still just free survivability. Like it's
not
still
free
just good.
because you need to fish, but yeah.
Well, yeah. But just fishing
it's
in
also in a
underground or
much more
caverns is
obtainable
pretty easy to
biome.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can often get
And
this
you can
while
get
fishing for
like
something else.
recalls.
Like if you fish in
You
the
can get
underground
recalls
jungle,
and wormholes alongside it.
yeah. If you fish in underground
Yeah.
jungle, you can get both of these potions at the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
Rage potion.
Rage.
It's
Increase
not
critical
that great.
hit critical chance by 10%. It's just kind of in layman's terms a damage buff,
Yeah.
which in
I feel like
hardcore
this
I prefer
potion-
defensive strategies than offensive.
How
in
I feel like
general.
this potion
Is
has
this the-
never made the difference
This is
for
the
a
Hemon
boss
Piranha
fight.
and
Is this
the Crimson.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Crimson. You need to fish in the Crimson. I would say like B or C. I don't know. Like the damage is good.
I feel
Generally,
like it
in
has
hard-
to be below
Go out of your way
Core.
for it.
I feel like it has
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
below summoning
I
potion
agree.
because summoning potion gives extra knockback. This doesn't give. Wait, no, hold on.
I
This
would
does
rather
extra
give-
knockback because critical strike chance is knockback, but
Yes.
it's less
Yes,
knockback.
it's
An
true.
extra summon is extra crowd control. This probably won't save you knockback wise.
Yeah. And you're
One
not
thing to
going
note,
to
it's
have
also
it
only 4
running
minutes, which is
outside
pretty rough.
of boss fights because of 4 minutes. And it's a
Here's
fishing
the
potion.
thing to
It goes
consider,
below
though.
If
summoning.
you have this running
Summoning
outside boss
potion-
fights, I have so many questions.
Yeah, for real.
Here's one thing though: summoning potion only helps summoners. Rage potion helps everyone but summoners.
Yeah,
so it's
the
kind of the
thing
other
Summoning
half of the
potion
coin.
helps other
It's the other half of
classes
the coin.
than summoners.
Yeah, summoning potion helps everyone. It's just summoners like to get it more because bigger minion count looks cooler.
There's a lot of situations where I'll be playing a different class and I'll just use minions incidentally to stun lock a lot of enemies. Like Flinxes and Spider Summons
Yeah.
are a good example.
I was again thinking of like restrictions as if you're like doing a melee run.
Like
but-
restrictions are a nice note we can add, but I'm not rating this based on restriction runs.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'd
So
say
I
like
feel
right
like
below
this
summoning is
has
good.
to be
B tier, yeah.
below here. I'm like thinking if it's better than Hard Reach. It has to be better than Hard Reach.
It's better than
Yeah.
Heart Reach.
I'm gonna change the order of this. I want to look at
yeah,
Wrath
that's
right
fair.
after because it's like the sister potion.
Wrath is stronger than Rage, in my opinion.
Yeah. In
It
general,
deals better
it's-
with defense.
Not necessarily stronger. It really depends on your build and how much damage you're getting from summons. If you're running a mainly class-centered build, like take Ranger as an example, most of your damage is often coming from your weapons, and critical strike chance is multiplicative, so it's going to be substantially stronger. And if you're like ickering enemies or using say Betsy's Grass on stuff, particularly Betsy's Grass, then defense doesn't matter anymore, and that multiplicative nature can be more important than applying to summons.
That is true.
For those who don't know,
Betsy's
this is
Wrath, I hard
10%
agree.
damage,
Yeah, just
whereas
let
Rage is
me
10%.
go explain one more thing.
Yeah.
On average, if you have a warding ranger optimized build, you'll have, I believe in my, I just did a master hardcore ranger run. I didn't class restrict or anything, but I focused on range damage, so I also had summons, and I had, I believe, plus 85% range damage. So unless you have, say, plus I think you need like 40% or more of your damage coming from your summons for this to be better than than Rage. And most of the time you're not going to have almost half of your damage coming from summons, so this will be better in scenarios where you're getting rid of defense.
So
Here's one thing though, is in general, you're only going to be able to get one of these at a time in pre-hard mode, and then in hard mode, you can just get them both. So I don't know. I'd say they're pretty comparable if you don't dive too deep into the numbers, where it's just extra damage for both of them in general. Like
yeah,
high
they're
level
definitely like right next to
damage
each
buff.
other.
They're definitely right next to each other. This is me
so-
caring way too much about the specifics, but I feel like crit
yeah.
chance is probably better.
So just for context,
Okay.
With critical strike chance, the flat damage reduction from defense is subtracted before the number is multiplied.
Yeah, that's the downside
So-
of crit.
Yeah, that's the downside of crit. Just in case people are listening, you know.
Yeah, the main reason that I'm putting this behind the crit chance one is because if you're running a summon focused build, you're gonna get a summoning potion instead of either of these, because summoning potion, I don't know, it's just easier to get because normally Underground Jungle has large water pools pre-made, and you usually have a pylon there for like Queen Bee or whatever, so it's not difficult to go there and fish whenever you want to. For Crimson or Corruption, you need to, for the one in the world already, you need to make some artificial pool, or you need to wait until hard mode when it corrupts stuff.
Yeah.
And you still often end up making an artificial pool, but you can never get a pylon there. So fishing in evil biomes is always going to be more inconvenient.
I think there's no question that this goes below summon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Rage. Not by a lot, mind you, but that's my take.
I
I think the
I
defense thing matters a
really care.
lot.
Yeah, I feel like we have to average this among all the classes. For Summoner, it's obviously useless, so you're just going to not get it. For other classes, I feel like if you could only choose one, you're usually choosing the crit chance, but I don't know. I guess
Here's one thing is like
defense-
in general, you get one that your world evil is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
going out of your way to build another evil
And
biome, probably not.
If
worth
you
it.
ask me, generally corruption is the better evil.
Well, for hardcore,
But
yeah,
that might be my sandgun preference
I
speaking.
don't think it's a preference, actually. I think objectively, corruption is easier
Yeah.
hardcore run because you get Wormscarf early.
Yeah.
Brain of Cthulhu is just a tougher boss because it's more RNG dependent, and you can easily get
Agreed.
Ichor in a corruption world by just buying the seeds and then adding in the corrupt grass to say some normal underground farm. It takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes of work if you already have a mob farm. Less than that probably for the graveyard, as long as you killed NPCs for gravestones earlier, which you should be doing for the shovel. So it's basically no effort to get Ichor on a corruption world, and that's the main advantage of Crimson, just gone.
Yeah.
Yes,
agreed.
yes. Hard agree.
Right, Inferno Potion.
Oh, hold on.
wasn't
the one caveat I will add is that vampire knives are busted, but by that point there's a lot of options to deal with pillars, and I wouldn't say Golem is typically something you need vampire knives for. But anyway, this is like completely off topic. Let's focus back.
Yeah.
Also in multiplayer, only one vampire knife, so
Yeah.
less important.
Yeah, it's marginal.
Yeah.
Inferno.
Yeah, we can do another
If
podcast
it
on like
wasn't
corruption and
so hard to get.
That would be
Yeah,
a fun
that's fine.
one.
Yeah. Inferno.
Inferno
The main thing
good
is it's
for
hard to
like
get.
minion boss fights, but so unobtainable.
I love getting this, like, from Red's potions early on for jungle exploration. This makes getting jungle materials
it's so good.
much easier. But the thing is, it's completely RNG on whether you can get that. And outside of that, I basically never use this potion.
Yeah, if you're playing for the worthy or get fixed boy and get this from a Red's potion, it's insane. But I don't think that
It's
really
so good.
justifies making it.
That's more of a
that
Red's
good.
potion thing.
Yeah, we need to add Red's potion in here. Why is Red's potion not here? Damn it.
Top of S,
That's
no
true,
questions.
that's true.
Done.
Aw, Red's potion
Alright.
is so
The thing is,
nice.
I mean,
It's the best potion in the game.
There's no
GG.
discussion. It's
Anyways,
if you're in
next.
for the worthy or get fixed boy, it's good.
Yeah.
But for Inferno, I would say maybe C tier, because it's pretty good.
That's fair. It's so good when you have it active, but it's so unobtainable.
Yeah, the thing is, you
Yeah,
need
like
a
lava
lava fish
fishing is
or
a
kill
pain.
Skeletron and loot Shadow Chest before Queen Bee if you want to use this on Queen Bee.
Yeah.
And I would say Queen Bee is like the main use case for this.
One thing I
I'd
will
say
say though,
Queen
works
Bee
on the hungry,
and
doesn't it?
yeah, it works on the hungry, and it also works on the Eater of Souls that the Eater of Worlds spawns when his segments
The
die.
thing is, how many people besides me actually kill Skeletron before Evil Boss?
Not that many.
Yeah.
Also,
Unless-
one thing is if you get
Yeah.
it from a Reds,
Yeah.
it's pretty good for Evil Boss. Like I would say, if you're doing for the worthy, it's kind of fair to stock up some Reds and chug them for Evil Boss
Yes.
for Inferno.
Yeah, we've
it's
done
pretty
this
good.
a lot, actually.
Yeah. I feel like this Okay, so where would you guys place it again?
I
Probably
would say
around
like
Builder
C
Potion.
tier. Yeah, probably around Builder.
Yeah.
Just if it was more obtainable, like the effect
It
is
would
really
be,
good. It's
if
really
it
good.
had the obtainability of like a regen potion, it would go up so much.
It would be like the best potion in the game.
It'd be
Yeah.
so good. It's just, yeah, it's so unobtainable.
Yeah, I feel like this is more of an argument of why you should do Skeletron first, but again, that's like just a completely different conversation. But I really want to like convince more people to do Skeletron as a first boss because
I don't hate that.
The
but-
routing, the amount of things
Yeah.
you get from Skeletron is insane, and it makes everything else so much like
True.
easier, and it makes everything so much more fun.
It's, yeah, you get mechanical lens earlier, you get like teleportations. It's very good.
Anyways, guys,
I don't doubt
potions.
that.
Yeah, potions,
But also
potions.
sand
We
gun.
need to
Alright,
stay on
whatever.
topic, please.
Okay,
Recall potion. S tier.
S tier.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna argue. This is better.
Top
than
of S
everything
tier,
else
better
we've
than
covered.
healing potions. There's no question.
Can we just explain this for the people watching so they understand why
Yes.
we're putting this so high?
Yes.
Alright,
Okay.
so... Alright,
Go for it,
so
Trace.
if you don't understand, in hardcore, the most important thing is not dying. A lot of attacks, if you get hit 2 or 3 times in quick succession, you're just dead. You lose your run, it's over. A healing potion sometimes won't save you from that, but recalling while you're in iframes almost always saves you. It's much faster than a magic mirror, so that means it saves you from taking a hit while you're still in iframes,
Yeah.
since it's like that much shorter.
Recall potions
It's so good.
are so powerful that I honestly wish they weren't in the game because they trivialize basically all regular situations where you're in danger. It's like a save and quit feature that you don't need to use save and quit for. People like hate on save and quit because it's cheesy, but recall potions are just as cheesy in basically every situation. They do the exact same thing and they're just in the game. Like if you want to make hardcore more interesting for yourself, more of a challenge, just ban recalls. And it makes such a huge difference in how difficult it is to survive regularly.
It is so much harder to survive without teleportation than it is with it. Like magnitude's difference.
Also, for those who don't know, the magic mirror has a use time of I think 90 and the recall potion of 30, so it's so much faster.
It's so much faster.
A full second is an eternity when you're in a combat situation. A cross necklace as well is particularly insane and busted with this, because with a cross necklace, the length of your invincibility is longer than the use time of the recall. So if you ever get into a situation where you're a one hit with a cross necklace, you can just always drink a recall and you're just out of danger. It's basically impossible to die as long as you have decent reflexes and you're not in a situation where something can follow you to spawn like Queen Bee.
If you're using Nurse, it's even more broken.
Yeah,
I even need to talk about that.
Nurse though, because Nurse is just moral degradation. Why are you using Nurse if you're playing hardcore?
Right.
What else?
Anyways,
it's also a decent way to dodge boss attacks. I don't know if people use it for this very often, but like I've used it to dodge like destroyer heads when I'm in a particularly bad spot.
Yeah, I'm not really going to count it for that because I feel like that's mostly a crutch and not a particularly good one because recall potions are expensive. They require fishing to make. It's not like wormholes where you can get 3 of them for each fish. And it's not particularly good for dodging boss attacks because you mess up the pattern.
Yeah.
Sorbet Cafe...
Not that this happens very often.
Yeah.
But it can save your life in that way as well.
Yeah, I disagree on a lot of topics with Sorbet, but one thing I strongly agree on is that getting the Rod of Discord every run is a huge crutch, and people should stop doing it. Using recalls on boss attacks is a similar situation. It's not going to make you better at the game, and it's basically never the objectively correct play to make.
Yep.
It often puts you in a more dangerous situation because now you're at spawn, and unless you specifically prepared a special spawn for this, then you're often going to get trapped by the boss or by enemies or whatever. So I would not rely on recalls during boss fights, but in every other situation, regular explorations are just busted.
I'll add a caveat to that, though. I think it's better in multiplayer because the boss will probably just aggro onto somebody else. You can recall safely and be okay. So
yeah. Okay.
But yeah, recalls busted. Save your life from any number of situations.
Return potion. Recalls.
This is a weird
fish,
one,
and it also saves you time getting back to wherever you were.
So, return potions have a nice use.
Fish is a pretty rough cost.
Yes, it's so bad. Similar to the Inferno
pretty
potion.
Useful. I like them against pillars, particularly on Get Fixed Boy, but that's not really relevant. So not really as important. But they're useful.
Their best use is that you can drink one of these and then come back through, and it'll despawn everything around you.
Yeah, it's good for temple, especially for the worthy. Like the temple is super long.
Okay,
maybe pretty
I'm
niche.
just like cheating here, but like I just like hoik to the golem room in legendary mode. Like I just kind of bypass the temple. Do most people not do that? Is that considered too cheesy?
Okay, Mr. Teleporting is a crutch. Mr. Rod of Discord is a crutch. But just getting to the end of the temple.
Why would I voluntarily put myself through that maze when I can just skip to the end?
I think
it's part of the game, man. It's part of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's preference. Like,
I would put him
I wouldn't knock someone for going through the regular maze. It's intended game design. It feels similar to cheesing a boss.
I would never like make fun of someone for doing it the intended way. I just have done it the intended way, and it sucks so much.
It does. It does.
Okay, but yeah, I can see the use cases for, I guess, Golem, the temple. Pillars not so much. I don't really understand the reasoning there outside of Get Fixed Boy, but yeah, I can see a use case for
Yeah.
Golem. The cost
My
is
main
just
point
so
is
bad,
Get Fixed
though.
Boys.
The cost is really, really bad. It's
I
like,
would say like below Inferno.
yeah,
I think.
agreed.
We can have your two favorites next to each other, Morsa.
They're not my favorites. I just think it's pretty good, and like later in the game, you can get them fairly easily. So
I don't know about easily. I have better things I want to do with my time late game than fish.
that's fair. I mean, you're a fishing hater.
Yeah.
I'm like fishing's a fact of life. We accept it.
Okay.
Teleportation
I'd rather
potion,
not, but I
in
accept some
hardcore,
amount of it.
it can kill you.
I mean, I don't
Alright.
really see how this manages to kill you unless you have, like, not-existent reflexes. Like, why are you using a
I mean, it can
teleportation
teleport
potion?
This
you into
one-
lava.
So there is a possibility of being teleported onto a half slab block next to a lava, and you will take
And you
damage
just
pretty much
die,
instantly.
Okay. I agree that that shouldn't exist in the game, but how are you actually dying to that? Why are you using a teleportation potion when you're at not full HP? Like, if you keep that
True.
fact in mind, then this is fine. An experienced player should
Yeah.
never die to this.
It's worth mentioning because teleportation potion, if you play for like a while, it'll kill you like that once.
I have
Yeah.
not died to a teleportation potion ever, and I don't expect to ever die to one. So I disagree on that statement.
It'll get you on. It will get you when
Yeah.
you least expect
I'm
it.
gonna
Any day now.
I'm gonna save this clip.
You can save that, but I'm probably going to die IRL before I die to a teleportation potion.
Here's the thing,
You
though.
know,
don't think the
I will be
benefits are that
interested to
great.
see how
Like,
that ages.
Okay.
It can be good to get into a cave that you haven't explored, but you also have no guarantee that it'll get you into a cave that you haven't explored. Like, it can just be useless. So I would say like bottom of C tier. It's.
I'm gonna put this above Honeyfin. I get more use out of teleportations than I get out of Honeyfins.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate spot. I like that.
Okay.
They're fun. They're fun. They're just not very good in
Love and
hardcore.
Steak,
Okay, F
a
tier.
bottle of. There we go.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk
Awesome.
about these.
Awesome.
Yep. We're
Uh,
speeding through these. Let's go. Fishing potion.
They're particles. Fishing potion. It's the most expensive of the three. I think that definitely knocks it down. Its effect is probably. It depends on what you're going for.
Can you
But
remind
it's, like,
everyone of
kinda
the
mad.
recipe again? Not because I completely forgot it.
It
I
needs
would
like
never do
crispy
that.
honey blocks.
Crispy honey, like
right.
moon
This is the
glow,
crispy honey
water
one.
leaf.
It's bottled water, crispy honey, and water leaf. So the crispy honey's pretty
Yeah, the
rough to
crispy
get
honey is
unless
the
you're in
annoying
Get
part.
Fixed Boy, which is easier, which is funny, but in normal world, it's pretty
It
hard
is-
to get.
It is
so.
a very substantial fishing buff. If I'm fishing, I'm basically always using this potion.
Yeah, I would just put it like bottom of C. I don't know. I think for hardcore in particular, like it doesn't increase your survivability. It saves you time.
Yeah, it's
doing
completely optional.
something that people hate to do.
Well,
so
I
like,
guess we
I
have to
don't know.
compare it to the other potions. Like this will get you these two fishing potions, which are good, substantially faster. And having these on more of the time means that it could indirectly save you. And I feel like that indirect use case is more valuable than like the low tier C potions. So probably just below Inferno, I would say, because Inferno,
I like that.
yeah, can actually be
Yeah.
useful on Queen Bee or something.
I'm fine with that. Sonar and crate. I mean, these are useful, but just depends on how much you value your time fishing. Pretty much.
I'd say
like-
sonar is about the same as regular fishing potion. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
But it only really is useful for like when you're trying to serve bait, which isn't very often.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about crate potions? I forget what I ever
Crate potions double the chance of pulling crates. It's 10 to 20%.
Oh, it's double now?
I will
Did
say,
it get
Yes.
buffed? I
It's
feel like it
always
got
been
buffed.
that way.
Huh, okay.
It's the best of the
it's
three.
actually
in
better than
effect.
that. It's 10% to 25%,
Really?
Huh.
according to the wiki.
Wow. Anyways,
Okay.
it's the best of the three, for sure.
I have to
Yeah.
disagree. Normally I'm fishing for endurance, life force, and occasionally summoning potion. You don't need crates for any of those.
Here's the thing: for multiplayer, crates are like the most renewable source of loot. So for gearing everyone up, you're gonna have to do some fishing if you have a lot of people in a multiplayer run. So that's our perspective. Is like, yeah, in single player, you don't really need it because you just get a chest, get your loot, keep
Yeah.
going.
And I guess I can see it if you're like getting bundle. You need
Yeah.
balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for bundle usually, and it's good for getting common potions and gold
What's the
early
recipe
on.
again for crate?
It's
Amber,
an amber,
Moonglow, Sugarthorn,
Moonglow.
Waterleaf.
The amber
So,
can be
quite a bit.
annoying, but nothing
You can also set up a
unrenewable.
farm.
Yeah.
It's pretty doable.
So I would just group them all together. Like if you're doing a big
Yeah.
fishing haul, you're probably gonna have.
I'd
all
say
of
it's
these.
better than sonar
So,
for sure.
Yeah, I guess sonar only really helps with spade. I guess I can see it above sonar. Okay.
if I'm ever like fishing for bundle, I'm using all of them. So
Worms potion. This one's interesting.
Above fishing.
F tier, F tier, F tier.
Above fishing potion.
F tier, dude.
It has to
So-
be below fishing in my opinion because it's so niche, but I also think it has to be above honeyfin out of spite.
Are you ever gonna use this potion against Deerclops? I don't even fight Deerclops in a run
Deerclops,
anyway.
if you somehow feel like fighting him for some reason, but also Frostmoon. It helps versus the Ice Queen.
I'm also not
Okay,
fighting Frostmoon in
If I'm
hardcore, to be honest.
giving my serious opinion, unless you're doing an all bosses run, this is useless.
Yeah.
I disagree. The Frostmoon drops can be useful. The
I just think
Snowman
it's not
Cannon
worth it
is
in
quite
hardcore.
good.
What's the opportunity cost?
There's basically none. You fish and you get this for I think 15 minutes. It's the least annoying fishing potion to get.
So you are gonna be like
I'd say
post
one thing
plan.
that's
It's
most useful for is maybe Ice Golem if you're going for like Frost Armor or Frost Wings. Maybe. I don't
Are
know.
you really going to craft this potion before you go get it? If you see it's raining, I'm just immediately heading to the ice farm. I'm not thinking, oh, I need to
Yeah,
go fishing before I farm my ice
That's what I'm
shower.
saying. F tier. I've never used this potion. It's not
I
good.
feel like it has to be above Honeyfin just because it trivializes Deerclops and Ice Queen, because this applies before everything else, before defense, which means
Yes.
that it is way more than a 30% effective damage reduction. This is often like more than
That's
halving
fair.
the damage you take from these. Even if it's a niche situation, it's so good.
it's
in that
niche, but it has an incredibly powerful effect. I think it's
That's fair.
below return maybe, because I'm going to use return pretty much every run if I have it. I don't often go out of my way for
Yeah.
warmth.
I would say put it right above Honeyfin. That's fair. The thing is, I've never I don't fight Deerclops until like way past tier, so like it doesn't matter
Yeah.
at that point. I also just don't think I've ever fought an Ice Queen in hardcore.
Oh wait, hold on. Deerclops.
Because-
Deerclops does have that one mage support item that's useful for all classes. I think
Yes,
because of that, I wanna
that
move
one
up.
is good.
Yeah, I want to move it up.
That one
here,
is good.
because if you're playing optimally, that means you should be fighting Deerclops for that one item, and this does trivialize
Yeah.
the fight.
Weather Pane is a good item for
fair.
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Gender change potion.
F
F.
tier. It's more particles. At least it's more interesting particles than the other particle potions.
Also, with
Obsidian
the upcoming
skin.
update, I think it's going to be removed and like gender doesn't exist. So it's probably not going to exist for much longer. Rest in peace,
Okay.
gender change potion.
It has some cool effects on it.
Obsidian skin.
Obsidian skin.
Pretty good. I would say
So-
like B tier, just for
So
spots.
lava's pretty good for controlling enemy spawns is one thing. For like mob farms, big arenas. Obsidian skin's always good for that, and obviously it's incredible for pre-wall of flesh.
Also, mining hellstone. Yippee.
Well, yeah, mining
Yep.
Hellstone, I assume is what everyone thinks of when they think of
Yeah.
this potion, but it also has other use cases. So if you ever make like
Yes.
a lava arena for like say mob spawns, like you've mentioned, that's a use case. And also, what a lot of people forget is that there are several bosses in the game late in hard mode which inflict on fire that Obsidian Skin actually helps a ton against. For example, Golem.
It's so good against
Yeah,
those.
Golem.
Yeah.
It
It's
makes
true.
the fight way easier because those fireballs
Oh,
are
yeah.
a major aspect of the fight, and now you
Yeah,
don't have
it's
to
a
use
lot
on
of
fire,
damage.
so you get all of your regen back.
It
for,
will
that
seriously
time.
like half the damage that you're taking overall
Yeah.
from those things.
Also,
it's so
yeah,
incredible.
Also, cultist. I can't remember the last time I was actually set on fire by cultist, but Crabbar mentioned it, and I checked the wiki. Apparently, cultist can inflict on fire for a couple of seconds, so it technically helps there. But more importantly, Betsy as well. The old one army weapons are amazing against the pillars, and pillars suck. So there is an argument to do tier 3 old one's army. And this makes the Betsy fight way easier, because Betsy is really dangerous if you don't know her attack patterns perfectly, and Obsidian Skin helps a ton, because you can get on fire for like, I think 15 seconds, or I don't remember the exact amount, but you can get on fire for a while by Betsy.
Yeah.
The only time I fought Betsy in a hardcore run was in a Sentries only hardcore run, so I don't know.
Oh, I just did it in my Master Hardcore Ranger run because I wanted
I
to
think
Red
she's just not
Riding
really
Warrior.
worth. I think the risk isn't really worth the reward, but
Yeah.
in general,
There isn't
anyways,
that much
different
risk, actually.
conversation.
Yeah, anyway,
but Obsidian
anyway.
Skin, really good. I would say top of B or bottom of A. I think like I'm probably going to use this every run, just not for a whole lot of uses.
I would
but
rather
when I want it, I
have-
really want it.
I would rather skip out on lesser healing than I would Obsidian Skin.
Well, I think lesser healing should be in A.
I can't see
Same.
this being. I don't know if this is above
But-
danger sense. I guess it's above danger sense. I feel like danger sense is too high though.
I think it's in a good spot.
I don't know. I feel
I
like
would
I'd
say it's
rather
above danger
have
sense.
summoning potions as a summoner than Obsidian Skin. So, ooh.
Well, I guess maybe this is also some
is-
multiplayer brain speaking, because I have had so many times where someone will kill like a hellbat or a lava slime on the hell bridge while we're kiting wall of flesh,
That's
and
true.
it like legit saves my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's good for Wall of Flesh if like accidents occur. Yeah, I guess that multiplayer
Another
aspect
thing is, like,
more important.
You're gonna want it in like every run, no matter what. Like summoning potion, it's super good for summoner. It's fairly good for everyone else. But
And consider
there's a lot of
like
other runs where you just aren't gonna use
the
it.
damage. The damage you
versus
would be not reducing during like the on fire debuff fights.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I'm looking at B tier, and I feel like we could re-tier calming here to like be below the damage stuff, because I don't think that pillars itself
I agree.
justifies it as over the other stuff.
Sure,
And then
that's
maybe
fair.
Obsidian is like right above the damage ones. I guess I'd rather use Obsidian than the greater healing.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
about these. I guess I'd also rather use it than danger sense.
Yeah.
I think it just has a longer life,
That's
more
a good
use
spot.
cases than danger sense. So
Honestly,
yeah,
That's
I
a
think
good
I'd,
spot
I think
as well.
I'd rather use it than lesser healing as well, because lesser
Yeah,
healing
he
is
agrees.
just so bad. Yeah.
Okay,
we have
regen.
the trifecta. I'm just gonna move this in
Yes, the trifecta.
here. There we go. Of the Daybloom potions.
The god potions, SSS.
Okay, disagree on that.
No,
one.
swiftness
cannot be S.
maybe not.
Swiftness is a little
It's
less.
really good still, but it's not S. I agree
It's
with
better
that.
in early game. Later early game, you just have a lot of accessories that make you faster, so you don't really. need
Hermes
swiftness.
potion in a bottle.
Yeah.
Or Hermes
Anyways.
boots in a bottle.
Regen potion
Nowhere
first.
near Hermes.
S
Anyway,
tier?
regen. I don't know how to rate this with healing potions, because if we put it above all the healing potions, does that imply that we'd rather have it than each healing individually, or we'd rather have regen than any healing? This is why I
I think that's a philosophical question that we ignore and just throw it below them and call it a day. They're all good.
Yeah.
If I'd...
If I had to
don't
pick
like
one or the other, I would rather have regular healing potions.
Ooh.
But-
Honestly,
I don't know.
I think I'd
It's not
rather
a
I'd rather
debate of-
have these two than regular healing, because regen and iron skin are just so good early on, and they stay good.
I feel like
Yeah.
move regen below restoration, and I
Here's the
I
thing: is
feel
it's
like
not a
regen is
pick one
still
or the
better
other.
than
It's just how good are they?
Yeah, they're how good are they, but also we somehow decided it would be a good idea to put these in the same tier list, so now we have to compare them.
Yeah.
I feel like regen
Which
is
is
better than
hard.
restoration, because restoration you're still largely taking chip damage. It's not as good as greater healing, because greater healing now you're worried about mob one-shots and boss one-shots. So I feel like
I
that's
think
my
it's good right there
justification.
in the middle.
You know what? That's fine.
One thing to consider is regen is good for the entire game.
Yeah.
Restoration is only good for certain portion of the game.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. Never mind.
it's
You
not
got
as
me
much
there.
of a either or angle, but just how good is it comparatively? It's just you're going to be using the entire game, so I'd say it's better.
Iron
Um,
Skin. Ooh, this is a tough one to rate versus healing potions.
It's worse than regen,
Yeah,
I'd
it's
say probably top
definitely
of A.
worse than regen. I think
but
it
it's
deserves
like
a tier above
similarly
these
good.
two. It's just so much easier to
Yeah.
obtain, and it's so much better early.
Easier
Yeah.
to obtain, better early, and
You
you're
can
going to have it
slap a
for the
bottle down
entire game,
in like your
literally.
first caving thing and just create Iron Skin, and it solves your early game.
Yeah,
It's
like
so
I
good.
often use Iron Skin for initially rushing the underground jungle, and it lets you move so much faster combined with regen.
Yep.
Like these two
I think
are like
it's
buddies. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say right there.
I don't think we need to get too into the weeds of like
Yeah.
tier
You know what?
ranking.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They're all
Whatever.
S
You
tier.
can
They're
put it
all
either
really
way.
good. You're gonna use them all.
Swiftness.
This is definitely below
It's-
the A tier ones.
I
I'd
think
say
it's
bottom of
A
A tier. Yeah,
Is it really better than Obsidian Skin?
I think so.
I would say so.
It's just like every boss, you
Um,
just want to slap this on because why not? You know?
So
I
it's very
guess.
cheap, right? There's that. And it's like a guaranteed win against like a lot of the early game bosses. Specifically, it helps a lot with Skeletron and I. And then it also helps with mech bosses a decent bit.
Okay.
And Wall of Flesh.
Gil's Potion. This is
F
like
tier.
F tier.
Yeah.
Right above bottled water, because I can think of more use cases for gills than bottled water.
True.
If you're doing a water arena, you're gonna want it. that's like the only use case. To be fair, I have had some niche cases where I'm just like in a cave and there's like a bunch of mobs above me and I'm in a pool of water and I happen to have a gills potion and I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Okay.
But
Do we put this in technically one use or F tier?
Let's put it in
I
technically
could argue
one
bottom of
use.
D.
I can
Yeah, I
see
mean,
cases,
like-
Yeah.
like I've occasionally
not
used this potion when I happen to
useless.
have it in my inventory.
but
Happenstance.
most
You
of the
don't
time,
craft
you're
this
never gonna
99%
use
of the
I-
time.
you
It's so
never
expensive.
craft
It
this.
uses coral. It's so expensive.
Okay, to be
Anyways,
fair, coral's renewable as long as you
mana-
have the conch. Yeah.
mana
regen.
regeneration.
This has to be super high.
This
with
thing's
how,
cracked.
With how badly we've slandered the mana potions.
Yes.
No, it's not slandered. They deserved it. They're so
It's
bad.
reasonable.
Mana Regen shows them up so hard. Okay, so, alright. The main thing that makes Mana Regen busted is it gives you the standstill Mana Regen amplifier. So, when you're standing still, you regen mana like twice as fast, something like that. Mana Regen just sets so that happens all the time, and it increases your Mana Regen by like a ton.
Yeah, it just
Like,
completely,
playing
it
mage,
basically
you're gonna
negates
be
the
using
reason
this.
for these potions, combined
Yeah.
with like some other
Yeah.
stuff like the star in a bottle, etc. You basically always
Yeah.
want this as mage for boss fights and like invasions as well sometimes.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
And
if you're,
it has
if you're
8
playing
minutes
mage, S
as
tier.
well.
If you're not playing mage, completely useless. So I think that balances out to like 8 tier.
I don't think that we
Yes.
should exclude potions based on you only want this if you're playing a specific class, because you just don't have to go for it.
Yeah.
That shouldn't really lower
Yeah,
it
we
too much.
should talk about how good is it when you want to use it.
Yeah, for example,
Right,
Strange
when
Brew,
it's a consideration.
Strange Brew is not a consideration if you don't get the merchant, but if you do, you want to know how good it is relative to the other healing stuff.
Anyways, this thing
Yeah.
goes in A at the very lowest.
At the same time, like you're gonna be happy to use regen, swiftness, strange brew every run. In some runs, it's just not gonna be useful at all. But yeah, I think A tier is good.
But I feel like as mage, I am much more worried about not having this than I am about swiftness. I feel like I might rather
Yes.
have
Yeah.
this than like these
Yeah.
two at least as mage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I agree, I said A tier.
magic power. I feel like is below mana regen, but I don't know about.
I'd say by a decent amount because of the duration. The duration is actually a huge debuff
4
on
minutes
this
is
thing.
rough. It's also 20% damage increase, which is pretty good. Like if you're
Yeah.
mage, you're gonna be just running both of these.
It's
just-
also more expensive than mana regen, by like
Yeah,
a decent amount. Deathbloom's
is
not
pretty rough.
easy. Yeah, Deathweed.
But
Okay.
if you're going mage, great potion. Featherfall,
We've
S
gotten
tier.
there.
The God Potion.
It's so good. It's so
I'm
good.
putting
Okay.
this above
Why
recalls.
wouldn't I
That's
want to
fair.
drink a accessory that is better than Bundle of Balloons for the cost
Okay.
of a feather and a Daybloom? Sign me up.
Like
think a
I
lot of people
literally
just
make a harpy
don't
farm
know
just for
what
this
this-
every game. Every game I
I
make a
think a
harpy
lot
farm.
of people just don't know what this does. I think they just don't
Yeah.
understand the mechanics
Hold
of
on.
it.
If
Who
you
wants to explain
haven't
it?
drinking this thing, use it. It's
What it does.
Okay, we need to
Yeah.
we
It
need to
doesn't
stop
just make you
telling everyone
floaty.
to use it before we explain what it does. I'm gonna quickly explain
Let
the
me-
actual effects of the
Okay.
potion before you guys just explode. Okay.
I was
So-
trying to explain what it
Yeah.
does.
Okay, anyway, so this allows you to control your fall speed and decreases your default fall speed. So if you don't hold any key, it decreases your fall speed. I don't know the exact amount. I don't know if either of you do, but it's like maybe
It's
1/3 of default.
1/3.
33%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1/3.
And if you hold up, then you can decrease it even more to, I believe it's 1/10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I believe
if-
it's 1/10.
And if you hold down, then you fall at normal speed, but even while holding down, you still are not taking fall damage. So it's complete fall damage immunity for the duration, and it's important to note, I believe this is the only source of fall damage immunity that works against Medusa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Jin's
I believe...
Curse.
Jin's
Curse
Curse
gives you the
and
same
Jin's
buff as
Curse
Featherfall.
is literally Featherfall, but you have to give up your leg armor slot. So no one is
Yeah.
ever using that.
Unless
Yeah.
Featherfall is banned.
Yeah,
Then
if
it's
for
a
some
consideration.
reason Featherfall is banned, then I am suddenly a Jin Curse fan. But other than that, you're never using it.
Here's the thing. A lot of people don't know that you can control it. A lot of people think it just makes you floaty. But no, just like the fact that
No.
you can go super floaty if you want, you can just fall regularly if you want. Just the control lets you move so well in the air. Combine this with a hook. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there is
should
no
be able to-
downside to using Featherfall other than having more things to consider in your head, because you have more options available. And
Yeah.
it is the single best potion by far for mobility, with the possible
good.
exception of the gravitation potion, in that the gravitation potion is arguably better, but it also is completely
Doesn't give you as much
vertical
control, though.
and technically, you could spam up and down to get a similar level of control. The problem with that is the amount of vertical
you
you
don't have
get
as much
is
control.
just insane.
Also,
Yeah.
gravitation doesn't synergize with the hook nearly as well as Featherfall does.
Yeah.
So,
It's similar in power to a gravitation potion in terms of the mobility it gives you during boss fights, but it's far better for caving, because it negates fall damage and you can like keep your screen on the same angle. You don't want to use a gravitation
Yeah.
potion while caving. Theoretically you could, but I know 0 people who have ever done that.
Yeah.
So in
Can use it in
practicality,
this
it's
way,
just so
anything.
much better.
also
Okay,
you have a
adventure.
giant duration, and it's way cheaper.
Yeah.
It's 10-minute
It's
duration.
the one potion that you can drink early game, and it completely solves your early game instantly.
Yeah.
Adventure. I have
It's
a
so good.
question for you.
Uh-huh.
So you said you build a harpy farm to get a bunch of these. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on making like 100 of these, having them in your inventory, and then changing your quick buff button to your like interact button, like your right click? So you just
Done that, it's
always
good.
have this on. Just
I
permanent Featherfall.
disagree with that because I often have buffs in my inventory that aren't Featherfall, and it's like one click just to activate Featherfall out of my inventory. I will say that I always keep this in my inventory instead of my void bag because it's less clicks to have permanently active. Like, I have this active more than I have Iron Skin and Regen active.
But think about
Yep,
it.
same.
On your interact key, it's always on.
The thing is, I don't want to be constantly using up mushrooms for regen potions. So that's the one reason I don't do that.
It's just pretty good piggyback, I don't know.
I can usually remember to quick buff, so that's like not a
Yeah.
bad thing. Anyways, it's so good.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's really good.
Yeah. Just the fact that it's basically free, like the regen and iron skin, once you have that harpy farm, it's also really easy to make a harpy farm. I believe Kalexos was one of the first. Maybe he wasn't the first, because I'm sure someone made. Actually, yeah, I think Ymir might have made a harpy farm at some point, but at least that I remember, he was a major fan of making a harpy farm for that. I made a harpy farm before seeing his, but his design helped me improve mine, and then I made an even better one in terms of simplifying his design to be practical to make in any world. Basically what you need to do is you have two pyramids. You have one regular pyramid into the sky and one inverted pyramid on top of it. And in between, you have like this 3-block gap where you put lava in. So all the harpies, you hammer down the blocks on the outsides of your pyramid, so any harpy that touches either side of either pyramid will be funneled into the center lava thing. And if you just make the pyramids, say, like 5 or 10 blocks tall, then it's super fast to make, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you just get infinite feathers throughout the whole game. It's just so simple and so good.
It is worth setting up its own farm for, even in Get Fixed Boy, where it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
It's such a good potion.
I'll say one thing is, it has a bit of a learning curve. Like, a lot of people, like, when they first use it, are like, what? But just if you use it for a little bit, you'll get used to it super quick, and it's really satisfying to use once you know how it works as well. Like, it just becomes instinctive to just switch between holding WS and nothing.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh,
yeah.
so
and
good.
A lot of people will say that this is in competition with wings. No, it isn't.
It makes
You use
wings
this with
better,
wings.
too.
It makes the wings incredible. Like, it gives you so much flight time.
Oh, and it also works on mounts. In case, like, we
Yes.
have any mount enjoyers out here. Like, it works with everything, except Witch's Broom. But, like, until then, you want this on constantly, if you can afford it. Okay.
Spelunker.
Yeah. We've glazed that fall enough.
Maybe we haven't. People still doubt this potion.
Spelunker's weird because it has no, like, practical survivability things for hardcore. But
It does,
the quality
actually.
of life
There's
is
one
really
that
nice.
it does.
Where? When?
And that is early, if you're mining for hard mode ores. That's when it's useful for survivability. Because it
But
I suppose.
reduces the amount of time you're down there.
I feel like this
it
needs to
reduces
be
the
right
time,
next to
but it doesn't-
mining. I feel like it should be above mining, maybe above heart reach, because it's better than mining in that it does something you can't
Hard
do with
agree.
other items.
Yeah. I
Hard
agree.
agree.
Maybe better than calming. I feel like you definitely used this more than calming.
I feel like calming will save me more than Spelunker.
It'll save me more, but I feel like I'm going to use Spelunker more and just, like, have more use out of it. I'm not.
I'm
calming will save my
constantly
life,
chugging
but-
calming whenever I've got the stuff for it, and it's like cheaper.
I feel like that might be a
So,
crutch.
it's my
like,
thoughts.
Why? In what situations are you spamming calming again? Like,
Whenever I have them.
Whenever there's like a chance that I'll be killed by regular enemies. And that's only because I have so much of it from trying to get Lucky Horseshoe. If I didn't get that, I don't care, right?
Yeah, I
but-
feel like as a gameplay suggestion, you might want to stop doing that as much because that isn't really gonna make you better at the game, and it's really time consuming to try and go for this every hardcore run.
It isn't that. I
Really?
actually don't bother with it a lot. The only reason I go for it is because it's incidental to getting the Lucky Horseshoe. That's it.
You're fishing for the Lucky Horseshoe in particular?
Multiplayer thing, yeah.
Yeah,
guess.
because
Fall
I
damage
don't have
reduction is
anything to
nice.
do.
Yeah, I just don't really see the point in Lucky Horseshoe when yet again more Featherfall
Drink
glades.
Featherfalls,
exists.
Yeah. Drink Featherfall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
there
there.
is an argument that your Featherfall can run out and you can die of fall damage if it runs out mid-boss fight, but then you just press the buff key.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I'll say though is just in hardcore, just completely eliminating ways to die is pretty good. So having permanent fall damage removal in an accessory and not a limited time buff is pretty good.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with going for Lucky Horseshoe. I just think
But
that calming
it's
potions-
Yeah.
unrelated to
I don't-
to
And then
Spelunker
plus-
potion.
Plus, I also want balloon, so I'm gonna be fishing up there anyways for balloon chances. So, you know.
I wonder if this can be above the regular damage buffs, because I'm remembering my last Ranger run, and I did not fish up either of the damage buffs, but I did use Splunking a lot, and I appreciated it. So
My
maybe this
complete
should be
honest
better.
opinion, I think the damage buffs should be at the bottom of B. I don't think they're that good.
I'm gonna put this right below summoning. This might be personal bias because I like having more things following me around dealing damage to enemies, but I feel like this is better than some generic damage buff that I'm never going to remember to get anyway because it requires evil fishing.
The duration definitely knocks it compared to summoning potion as well, in my opinion.
Okay, Invis. I feel like you should like this. It's quite calming and it doesn't require fishing.
I actually don't like
never
it,
use
Viz.
it. I never use it.
I like being able to see my character a lot.
Yeah.
There's
I think not seeing your character is quite a big downside.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest.
I know your screen's pretty much
rather not
always
have it.
centered on your character, but it is helpful to see.
You do
You know.
see it when it's using items still, which you can
Yes.
do
Yeah.
constantly by like swinging something if you really care about seeing him.
But at that point, why do you have an invisibility potion on? Like,
The spawn rates, presumably.
just use a calming potion. I
Well,
don't know.
then you have to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean-
probably rate this higher than you guys would because I'm that allergic to fishing that I'm like, oh, this is kind of like calming, but I don't need to fish. Sign me up.
It's also only 3 minutes though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when are you actually gonna go out of your way to make one of these and use it?
How long is calming again?
8. I
Hold
think?
on.
It's like 10 minutes, I think.
10?
No, it is not 8 minutes. You're completely wrong about that.
10 minutes then, I'd assume.
I feel like 10.
It's 12 minutes.
Oh wow.
Ooh, pretty good.
And its spawn rate is reduced by 17%, and the max amount of enemies on screen is reduced by 20%.
I feel like this is still
Which,
better than like Titan and Flipper,
Calming is
though.
like twice as good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would disagree.
I would say bottom of C for Invis.
To be honest, I don't like being invisible, so I will actively like trash it and turn off the buff if I incidentally get it.
Okay.
Like, I will actively
I
just
just
not use it.
We
Yeah.
can put it right above Honeyfin. I need to bully Honeyfin.
it's a drink on site for me. That's what it
It's a
is.
fight. It's a turn off on site for me. I don't know.
Shine potion.
Okay,
Okay.
Get
You go
Fix
first.
Boy aside, because this does have some uses on Get Fix Boy. It's like,
I
I
actually
like it.
this.
I like
I like it,
visibilities,
but-
I value Shine and Night Owl quite a bit.
The thing
Probably
is,
more than I
it's-
should.
It's
More than
Day
every
Bloom,
other people.
which is like the easiest herb to get ever. You can get this within like the first few seconds of a world if you're lucky, and you consistently get it like
It's
every
true.
day, like the first
Yeah.
day.
For sure. And then there's also glowing mushroom.
which is super easy to get. And
Super
it's
easy.
amazing in underground jungle. You craft this right before your first
Su-
underground jungle rush, and it speeds it up dramatically.
Yeah.
Just for that,
Um,
I feel like it should be going up above lesser healing at least.
Oh wow. I was
agree.
gonna
like
say
it.
I would have put it around summoning potion.
Okay, I guess.
I very
yeah.
highly value visibility, so
It's like-
I agree
it's
with
quite
it being
good.
high. I like
Yeah,
it.
I guess it's not as good as Splunker for like general utility.
I would disagree. I like it more than Splunker.
Well, the thing is, it's replaceable with like Magiluminescence or a Mining Helmet early.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, but the late
Magiluminescence
game,
does
you
fight it pretty
still
hard
kinda
for
want
its
it.
spot.
Like, I'm still bringing this to most boss fights just because,
Yeah,
you know,
like it,
like
it
after
helps.
Magiluminescence, I'm still
I
gonna be
actually
using it.
think this next potion is better for boss fights. Night Vision,
yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
quite as good for caving if you don't have something else. But if you already have a Mining Helmet, then Mining Helmet plus Night Vision or Shine plus Night Vision is amazing for visibility. It's basically like a Splunker potion.
Also,
but it also
Night
works for
Owl potion.
non-ores. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
really
pretty good.
I like it.
I don't know. I think it's pretty comparable to Shine.
It's definitely better than Shine because Shine is
It's
replaceable.
better
Night
than
Vision
Shine.
isn't.
Yes.
Also, it's only Daybloom and Blinkroot, which is pretty good.
Cheap. Not as cheap as Shine. I do think Glowing
Not as
Mushroom is
cheap,
cheaper.
yeah. I think though this
yeah.
does have like actual hardcore survivability impacts. Like just being able to see and be aware of threats will save your life. So I think it's pretty
I'm
good.
gonna put it above the 2 damage things because this
That's
is a
acceptable.
useful potion.
Yeah.
Okay, Wormhole. Yeah, you
It's-
guys
Only
are
in
better at this.
multiplayer. In multiplayer, I mean it's pretty good.
It's pretty
I
cracked.
don't know what to say.
I'd say A tier, maybe bottom of A tier. What do you think?
It can't be better than like these two.
No, I'd say like
No.
bottom of A. If you're doing multiplayer runs, you're gonna be wanting to use this quite often. It's good for boss fights. Like if one person needs to recall, they can wormhole back. It's also just good for saving time.
They're very.
Getting into
One of the
caves.
best strengths of this thing is that it's very unobtainable. It's cheap.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a replaceable effect. It's a very good effect too.
Yeah.
A tier. Yeah.
Granted, only in
Okay.
multiplayer. If you're playing single player, doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
This does not
So-
exist, so we don't have to worry about it in single player. Battle potion.
Battle. I
Ah.
rarely use this.
I actually
Here's my
use
thoughts on it.
decently often. Like for mob farms and harpy farms, it's nice for just speeding stuff up.
Yeah.
It's
When
nice.
when you're farming for something, it's nice, but it's also completely non-necessary. Like you can do a farm without it. It might take a little bit longer, but it doesn't really.
It's
Do
like the
anything.
fishing potion. So it's really a question
Yeah.
of does this speed
Yeah.
up your gameplay more than the fishing potions do? And I feel like the answer is
I would
usually
say-
not.
No. I would say no, and it can potentially have downsides if you forget to turn it off for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
dock too many points for forgetting.
I'm not
turn
gonna
stuff
dock
off.
much
Yeah.
off that, but yeah, it's just not as good as the fishing potions. It's the main thing.
Thorns
Thorns.
potion.
Well, hold on. If you're
Uh,
farming for frozen turtle shell, then this would actually save you a good chunk of time. And you can't
Yeah.
completely AFK for that because pig rounds exist. So you have to be paying attention
Yeah.
to your computer. So maybe just because of that.
I think it still stays pretty similar. Like for one item,
Yeah.
it's a little faster.
Yeah.
Big whoop. I don't know.
God of Discord as well, although I still think you shouldn't be farming for that anyway, so I don't know why I'm even bringing
Yeah.
that up.
yeah. It's not even worth saying.
Yeah.
Thorns potion. The effect is
This is a
nice. I
hard
mean,
one.
like if you have it, use it. But Deathweed is a pretty hefty price for such a minimal effect. I feel like.
It's not as good as an
Agreed.
Inferno potion.
Yeah,
but it is
it's below
cheaper to
Inferno.
get. It's cheaper to get, but like I don't feel like I ever remember to craft this because it's so niche. Not even niche. It's so bad in most cases in higher hardcore difficulties where you're not. tanking
Queen
stuff.
bee. But at that point, you drink your Inferno potion. It's like a budget Inferno potion for Queen bee.
I would put it
It's like
like next to Inferno, maybe below it. I don't know.
I don't
Probably
think
below it,
I
yeah.
think
for
I'd
sure.
rather do a run without swords than without any of these quality of life potions.
For sure.
Yeah, so it has to be below
I
them.
would honestly say like teleportation potion, maybe. We're getting down there.
Yeah.
Thorns.
Yeah, I feel like this is very similar to Worm's potion in that it helps with a few boss fights, but doesn't even trivialize the fights as much as Worm's does. So I feel like
Warmth is stronger on the boss fights it's good on. I'd say it's below warmth.
yeah,
My experience
Genuinely.
with Thorns is like in multiplayer runs where we have a bunch of people just farming stuff. We usually have a bunch of extra resources and we just make them. But like, I'm not like, oh yippee, I have a Thorns potion. It's like, yeah, I'll throw that in. Why not?
yeah. Water walking.
May as well.
Uh,
I would put it maybe like right above warmth. It's like situationally useful.
I think. Oh gosh, I don't know.
I think it's like on
I'd
par
actually
with like
agree
fishing
with like
potions.
right above Worms. I think
Yeah,
it's not
I
as
like
good,
that
Yeah.
spot.
not as good as the quality of life potions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But it can be
fight Wall of
useful.
Flesh with
Like
it if you want.
one of
but
the ideas is like you
of
could
course,
blow
I
up
would
and
switch.
all of the wall or all of the terrain in wall and chug one of those and you get a flat platform. It's nice for that. That's about it. It's not that good.
Okay. Also, it's good for Duke Fishron because it's basically an extra platform level, but it doesn't.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It doesn't affect the tsunamis or whatever it's called, the Sharknadoes. You know,
It's
you
true,
know,
yeah.
the things that shoot the Sharknadoes. So it objectively makes the fight slightly easier because Duke Fishron has less places to put them.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Archery potion. increases damage of arrow firing weapons by 10%, as well as the velocity of arrows by 20%. 8 minutes.
This is
By the
better
way,
than
this
the
is
default
multiplicative
buffs.
as well, so this has to be better than
Yeah.
Yes.
magic power. Maybe not better, but this is very comparable to magic
It's
power, except
similar
it's
to magic power.
longer duration, I believe.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes instead of 4.
Yes.
The one thing is like it's not
And it's
all
velocity.
ranger weapons. It's only arrow firing
Yeah.
weapons.
Hold on. We're only considering this for when it's relevant.
Yeah, for when it's
So
relevant.
when it's relevant, how good is it?
That's fair.
I'd say around magic power. It's pretty dang good. Probably above magic power.
I don't know if I'd say above, because it's less than a 20% damage increase in basically all situations, and the velocity increase isn't that relevant.
Yeah, fair.
One thing, so we're saying when it's useful, but I would argue that like ranger and bows in general in hardcore are just much better strategy for surviving than mage. So I mean, if we're not counting like
I feel like we
that
can
sort of
slightly
argument.
count how often
So, I
it's
don't know.
useful. For example, the endurance potion is more widely useful than mana regen, even if mana regen is better for mage than endurance.
Mhm.
Agreed.
It's like,
yeah,
I'd say
I think we've
archery is,
already
like,
accounted
overall
for
more
that.
useful than like magic power, but it's fairly comparable. If you're using those weapons, use it, increase your damage.
Yeah, I feel like it's below mana regen at least, because mana regen
Yeah.
allows you to like
Mana
continue-
regen
There's that in
kicks
between.
archery potion aside. It's too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe right above, maybe right below, because it's a longer duration, but that's really only quality of life, because these two
Yeah.
are both easily craftable by the time you really need them. So, and this
We'll
is not
say
as much.
archery is
of
a lot
damage boost.
easier. Daybloom and lens is a lot easier than Deathweed. Deathweed's pretty
Yes.
annoying.
Yeah, but you're not really going to be using this early, because early on when your like herb supply is limited, that also means your Daybloom supply isn't infinite, even if you have more of it than other herbs.
Yeah,
and you're,
and
going to
you're
wanna be chugging
spending that on the god
other ones.
potions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. Hunter potion.
Hunter. I quite
Hunter's
like
really
this. So in
I
the
wouldn't
tier list
say
I
it's
did
like
with Gnome,
insane.
the tier list we did
but
with
it's-
Gnome, I argued for S tier for this. I like
So-
it.
This is better than danger.
Or no,
sense
no, no, no,
by a
I said it was
substantial
worse.
amount. Wait, what?
I
I
would
said
say
it was
it's
worse.
better than
I said it was worse actually, right? I was saying it was A tier when Gnome was saying it was S tier.
No. Were you saying it was better or worse than danger sense?
I was saying it was worse.
What?
Yeah.
It's just
well, that
better.
was for Get Fix Boy, right?
Yeah, this is for general gameplay.
I guess we were like, yeah, considering it fixed. Here's
Yeah,
the
that
thing,
was
though.
a Get Fix Boy comparison. This is for
Traps are just a
legendary.
lot more sneaky. Like if there's an explosive trap just sitting on the ground, that's just gonna one shot you. Enemies like they have
Okay.
to come towards you. You're
The
gonna
thing
see
is-
them.
The
You
thing
know?
is, you don't always see enemies. For example, I've lost a run to a destroyer one shot more recently than I've lost a run to an explosive one shot. I don't remember the last time I lost a run to an explosive one shot, because if you
Well-
keep out for the red pressure plates, then you should be good, as long as you also don't go max speed on minecarts, which is just a bad idea in general, both because of the explosives on the minecarts and because of other stuff that can kill you on minecarts.
I
have
think
a- I have
another
a clip
consideration.
to show you.
I think another consideration is that Hunter Potion, it has like a larger window than Danger Sense does because
a
of
way
mechanical
larger
lens.
window, yeah, because this potion gets obsoleted at Skeletron, which you can do as your first boss. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think just because of that, it should go below like Splunker, but
I really do think it's still that good, especially for newer players. But I could see arguments otherwise.
Hunter is
Um,
significantly better. It's definitely better than Lesser Healing, better than
I
Obsidian Skin.
would be tempted to put it at the bottom of A, right next to like maybe Swiftness and Wormhole.
Yeah, I think it's better than Swiftness, but worse than Archery.
That's fair. I might knock a Wormhole up to like right below mana regen, honestly.
I don't know. No, it's not better than Archery. I'd rather have Archery than Wormholes for when it's useful.
I could be
If I'm in
I could be
multiplayer, I'd rather
convinced to
have
put it below Archery. I would rather have wormhole as well, but I think it's comparable to archery potion.
Yeah.
So do what you will, but I think
I still think
move it up
Yeah,
a
Hunter
few.
is
I guess it's better than swiftness for multiplayer. Yeah. Okay. Gravitation.
Gravitation.
I'm interested to
So-
hear your thoughts on this first, both of you.
So this is for legendary mode. On master mode, this
and
thing is
legendary.
obviously
Master and legendary. This tier list
Yeah.
is for both. Yeah.
yes.
because there's a big distinction.
We do have to
between those with this
consider the
potion.
change that happens in legendary. So for background, in legendary mode and get fixed boy, you have the issue of the Sky Island chest getting locked before Skeletron, so you need gold keys for it. And that definitely nerfs gravitation a good bit.
Yeah, I'd say in normal runs, that's like the only time you're using gravitation potion. It's very good for like challenge runs, where your mobility is restricted. But if we're not taking that into account, its main use is just for Sky Islands.
Again,
Yeah.
which in for the worthy, you're not really going to be doing.
Yeah. Ooh. This has to be below maybe Splunker then.
I'd say it's in B tier.
It's yeah, I don't know. You can use it for bosses, like it's a
Yeah,
arena
yeah.
replacement if you want, but I don't find myself using it. But you can also use it to synergize with an arena, so I think it's a fairly versatile potion that you can build around and have
So,
fun.
Yeah,
I think it's notable-
included challenge runs, and this would jump up to like A or S tier. Like you could easily
Yes.
argue
Sure.
for this being higher in different circumstances.
Of course,
Yeah,
Featherfall
even
does give it a
non-challenge
hard
runs,
time.
though.
If Featherfall didn't exist, this thing is getting bumped up another tier, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
So, this thing is pretty expensive and has a low duration as well.
Mhm.
Like,
And
I
even
know a lot of
still, it's
people
this
who
good,
just
so
use this to fight
whatever.
it with. Just use it to fight twins, and that's the arena. Just fly through
Yeah.
the sky and shoot them. That's
Although honestly, you can
pretty
just
good.
you can just do that with Featherfall. Like many of these potions just get obsoleted by use Featherfall instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luck potions.
It's a game changer.
F tier. I've never used these.
Yeah, I feel
I-
like we should try and give them a bit more of a show,
See,
but I've also never used these.
The thing is, I don't know what they do because I haven't used them enough. Like, I
They
don't
increase your
feel the
luck.
difference.
I should have gotten
Okay, I
Terraria
know
on
what they
here to
do
explain the
in
effect
that
of luck.
sense. I know what they do in that sense, but like, I have used them so little that I don't know how big of a deal that is.
Okay, so if I recall correctly, it's like less than 1% effective DR even on the greater luck potion because it's like a max of a 15% increase or decrease on your damage roll. And it changes luck by some amount. The issue is it's so convoluted, the effect. And it's
So-
also incredibly difficult to farm for. If you spend this much time fishing, it's just way easier to get endurance and life force instead.
And in
And they
general,
will have a far larger impact
yeah.
and basically always be enough.
in general, you should be planning your loadouts around the plus 15% max damage roll anyways. So,
Yeah.
it's pretty marginal.
Yeah, and even for farming, they're not good because instead of just farming for longer, you can farm for a marginally shorter time because the effect of luck on drop rates is very small. So you're fishing to spend less time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, adventurer. You need a fish for these, right?
Yeah, like
These are from clams. They're the worst for
you're
obtainability.
not ever saving time by farming these up. I don't understand
Also,
what
just
their use
if-
case is.
For the greater as well. Just get the galaxy pearl. Like,
Yeah, these are definitely F tier. I can't think of a single use case for these.
I would agree. I think
I
they
agree.
need a buff sorely. I would like to see that.
I also just don't like the whole luck mechanic. I would rather just have flat rates for everything.
Okay, flasks.
Fair.
Which ones to we have
Let's start with the
Ichor-
pre-hard
Hold on,
mode
can we like
ones.
just name all of these because I don't even like recognize
Yes.
half of these by names. We have
There's-
All right,
Venom,
Venom,
Cursed,
Cursed
Poison.
Flame,
Hellfire,
Fire?
or just regular. Yeah, this is regular fire.
just fire.
Gold,
Gold.
Gold,
Ichor,
Ichor, nanites,
Nano,
party,
yeah.
Party,
and poison.
Poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
so first off, can we put party in F?
Party's S. What do you mean? Party is S.
No, it's F.
It's like
I
right
love-
above or below gender change, depending on which one you
I
care
love
about
more particles on my
Gender
screen,
change could be
lagging my
cool for
game, and
changing the pitch of your damage sound to differentiate it from people you're playing with in multiplayer. That's technically more use than party.
Are you saying you don't like lagging your game and ruining your bitrate for
Yes.
recordings?
Yes, I am saying that.
Okay. Venom, I feel also actually should be very low down because Venom arrows are a very good arrow type, and because of
Yeah.
that, the Venom flask sucks. Venom.
But they're mutually
there is
exclusive, though, right? 'Cause
use-
it's like melee versus
Yeah.
ranger.
The thing
so,
is, with
Well,
melee,
actually,
you want
yeah.
Ichor flask for melee, so you're not going
Well,
to be using Venom.
you could
Hold
argue
on.
that you have a blade tongue.
There is
Why are you using a blade tongue?
You clicked Ichor while having another flask active. Duh.
But you're using blade
Oh
tongue.
my gosh! Morsa! No!
Why?
Do you not want
Okay,
to have an
There
extra
is
flask
one
and
genuine use for Venom Flask that I've seen, and I actually thought it was pretty decent at this, was in combination with Terrorblade against, like, events and pillars. It's okay at that, because the total health of those enemies is a lot lower, and Terrorblade has good AoE.
This has to beat the Ichor one, though. Ichor is 7.5 extra damage on each hit, and the Terrorblade, you're swinging, what? The projectile is coming out, what, 5 per second? Like, how many projectiles are you shooting?
This only matters when there's a lot of enemies, and your numbers are getting decreased because you're hitting so many enemies. But, like, that matters in, like, one situation. So, basically, Gil's potion level.
I think Venom, though, is just fairly good.
It's
a good debuff.
The thing is, it's a good debuff, but Ichor exists. And you basically always want to be using an Ichor flask instead.
Yeah.
What about multiplayer, though? What if you have someone else inflicting Ichor with, like, Golden Shower?
You know
right?
what? That's a good argument.
Right.
In that situation, bottom of C tier, maybe water walking. It's probably better than
I don't know,
water
that's why I
walking.
don't like
I'd rather
the
have like
comparison of,
most
like,
of these.
this or that.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that. What do you think, Marsa?
I think it's better. I don't know.
I
think
feel
it's
like
pretty
I'd
good.
rather have these in that one niche use case, because even in multiplayer, if you have a whole lot of people hitting a boss at once, the 20 or 25 whatever extra DPS from this flask
30
also won't
30
matter.
DPS.
Okay, the 30 DPS from this flask won't matter, because you have that many people in that high of a house on the boss. So this is just marginal DPS, even in that one use case.
Right, but what if, let's say, what if you just have Golden Shower to inflict Ichor, like just let's say it's just you, right? Golden Shower to inflict Ichor, and then your Venom Flask with your main melee weapon.
Then you're still going to be losing DPS from switching to Golden Shower instead of just using your melee weapon more. Like, there's a limited amount of mental energy you have to be switching weapons. It's going to detract from your dodging, so each weapon switch should add something meaningful. So you're adding a weapon switch there
Hard
for certain
agree.
extra DPS, which isn't worth it in almost all cases.
Yeah. I think Venom Flask is useful for multiplayer, but because it's dragged down by single player, I can see this placement being accurate.
Yeah, my problem with its multiplayer use case is even for that use case, it's 30 DPS when you have multiple players attacking a HP scaled boss, so that 30 DPS will be basically irrelevant. So even in that use case, it's just meh. I'd say I'd rather have a Thorns potion in that use case. I mean, maybe not Thorns, but I'd rather have Worms at least.
Yeah. Well, I think going below Thorns, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
at least
fine.
in single player, I can see more uses for Thorns. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I can see more use cases for these in a single player. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah. Cursed
all-
Flame.
Yeah, this has the exact same problem because this is available at the same time you get Ichor.
I'd say
I don't think there being a better option should move it down, though.
But it should, because they're mutually exclusive. This means that you're not using an Ichor flask.
Yeah, but I just think having other options doesn't make the worse options objectively worse, right? Like, I think we're just evaluating how good the single item is, right? Like, yeah, you just probably want to use Ichor, but that means, yeah, Ichor is better. That doesn't necessarily mean that the other one's worse. What if you can't use Ichor?
Why would you not be able to use Ichor?
Again, this is kind of into like the challenge run things, but like inherently having a better option doesn't make the other one worse. Like,
I mean,
there's an opportunity
I
cost,
agree
yes,
with
but that
that.
doesn't make
If
the other
you,
one
I
worse.
would agree if you could use both. So, like for normal potions, maybe, but like these are literally mutually exclusive. So by using this, you are automatically losing 7.5 damage on every hit of anything on that enemy.
Except for in multiplayer. And I think that is
Yeah, in multiplayer,
important enough to mention.
It's
That's
important
another
enough
thing
to
is like you can
mention.
have multiple people using each of the different flasks, right? So like they aren't mutually exclusive, especially in multiplayer.
Okay,
And
yeah,
so
in that
I don't think that
scenario,
having a better option inherently makes the other one worse. There is an opportunity cost, but it doesn't make it worse.
I would agree that it doesn't make it useless in multiplayer when you can have multiple flasks, but in single player, I'm never crafting this over Ichor, and I don't think there's ever a correct scenario where you do craft this over Ichor, which I think is the majority of what we should be taking into account. Like, challenge runs are worth, like, noting if it's particularly useful, and multiplayer is worth a considerable, like, consideration there. But even in multiplayer, you're going to have so much DPS in a fight where you have enough players to be using each of these flasks that the DPS you gain from the flasks basically doesn't matter.
I still just think rating something based on its own merits and not how just because there's something better is still a better way to do it, because then it applies to our ranking where in general, yeah, Ichor is still better. Ichor is still
I
ranked
just
higher.
learned
It's
something.
still going to be something that we should pick, but it can also apply to
Cursed
challenge runs.
Inferno makes enemies afflicted take 10% more knockback. That's something, I guess.
I guess it's something. Maybe that could be an argument to put it over Venom. I still think this goes like right besides Venom.
Yeah, I think it goes right next to Venom. I don't care the order.
Venom
it's useful
like
for longer.
More DPS, I guess. But Venom arrows are more commonly used because of their high base damage. So because of that, I'd say this is probably maybe marginally more likely to be used.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So Fire Flask.
Yeah, and yeah, just more so for this tier list at least, since I'm doing it, I will be like docking points for a better option existing, specifically because these are mutually exclusive for single player, and that's where it matters most here. In multiplayer, the damage is not a huge amount.
Yeah, I just disagree that I think it makes a better, more useful tier list to rate things on their own merit, because then it's still relevant to a normal run where, Ichor is still better, plain and simple, but then it can also be applied to a challenge run, even if you're not particularly taking that into account.
Yeah, you kind of can, but again, we're not doing challenge run consideration for Grav Potion, otherwise it would be way up here, so it would be inconsistent to use that philosophy on flasks. Anyway, Fire Flask. This one I actually think is much better because you don't have Ichor yet. You can use it on the Hungry. You can use it on Skeletron or Queen Bee, maybe. It's about it. It's not amazing, but it has a use case. And if you're doing an optimized loadout, you'll often be using this.
Hellstone is a little annoying for it, but you'll probably have that regardless.
Yeah, you're going to be wanting to mine Hellstone at this stage of the game anyway. It's not the easiest thing to get, but it's best in tier, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where to place it. It's funny because as much as we've been dunking on these flasks, I don't think the improvement actually I don't think it goes up that much from not having to compete with Ichor. I feel like I'd still rather have
better than Thorns.
Yeah, it's better than Thorns.
Yeah,
maybe better
I would say
than
it's
Water Walking.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know if I'd put it above the Quality of Life ones.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
that's fair.
Uh, I
Golden
guess I
flask?
guess people use this sometimes. I don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about it.
How about we
It
go
makes
look it
enemies
up on
drop
the
more
wiki?
gold.
Yeah, but we should actually try and take the mass into account. This is supposed to be objective. Flask of
Yeah.
gold. Or
Well,
whatever
it
it's
just
called.
says melee attacks make enemies drop more gold.
Surely the wiki has more
That's
info
what it
on
says.
that. I refuse to believe this.
Not just like on the main page.
Okay, the Midas debuff apparently gives like 10% minimum return. And the cost of the potion is 85 silver. You need to get 8 gold 50 to return the cost. I'm going to look up the Midas debuff.
It's 10 to 49% more coins than usual on
Okay,
death.
is this a linear distribution? Is what kind of curve is this?
It's all it tells us.
Wow.
Also, like, money, you don't need more money. This isn't going to help you survive in hardcore at all.
Money isn't the most important thing. I don't know if this is worse than... It's probably worse as
I would
slot.
say F tier.
I don't think this is F tier, because I think it's genuinely useful when you don't need to be using, say, an Ichor flask, and you just want more money.
This
like,
is
no
good
cost.
for using in a mob grinder if you happen to be in hard mode. And you don't need another flask
But
for
when are you
7%.
going to be hitting? And like, if you're in a mob
This
grinder,
is-
one,
this
you might
is
be
a lot
AFK.
like
Two,
ammo
I
are you
reservation.
going to be
can see a
using?
use case for this. What if you're farming bosses in hard mode? Like, you want money in hard mode, so you decide to farm King Slime.
Sure, but that falls off in multiplayer as well, so it's not as good.
No, it doesn't. Money scales linearly in multiplayer.
But only one person's going to get it.
Everyone crafts the flasks. I don't know.
Like,
it should be above the D tier potions. I can see this being better than ammo res, like, because ammo res is almost never useful. It's better than Titan and these, in my opinion.
Here's another thing, though. You need an imbuing state, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah. But
you're not
gonna
getting
have
this
one
that
anyway.
early.
You don't need
Yeah,
it
but
that early.
I just think you're gonna have the money that you need to have, and I'm never making a flask of gold to make more money.
Isn't this hard mode locked anyway? Yeah, this is hard mode locked
Pretty sure
anyway.
Gold Dust
Yes,
is.
it is.
Yeah, it is. That's true. So, I just, if you have an AFK farm or like a mob farm, are you gonna be making a flask? I'm never making
think
this
it's
for
between
money.
C and D.
I've never made this flask, but I think that it belongs right here. It needs to fight
you just want to dunk on Honeyfin. Come on, you can say it. It's okay. You're among friends here. You can just say that you want to dunk on
needs to be
Honeyfin.
bullied more. Okay. Ichor flask. Ichor flask. This is
The adventurer's rage baiting right now. I can tell.
I would say if there's like mana, power, and archery kind of tier.
This is really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say pretty close to swiftness in my opinion.
This is definitely
Probably
better
better.
than swiftness. I would say this is better
Yeah.
than archery because this is a flat 7.5 damage
Hunter,
on every
archery,
single
yeah.
attack on an enemy.
I think mana regen gates it.
I don't know. Like, I feel like there's other ways to
That's my
recover
opinion.
mana. It's gonna be difficult. Maybe mana regen is better for mage specifically, but this is so
Here's the
much
thing,
better
though.
for every
Mana
other
regen,
class.
you have it for the whole game.
Would you say it's better than Life Force?
No.
No,
I think
no.
this is right below
Not
the
at all.
Okay.
survivability potions.
Here's the thing: the mana regen you get for the entire game. The
Yeah.
Ichor Flask is only hard mode. So
Hard mode is the majority
like-
of the game, though. Like, you're getting this for
I would say like
majority-
40-60.
Yeah, you're getting this for a slight majority of the game for every class instead of getting it for one class. Like, you're basically always running this for Summoner and Melee. And I will sometimes run this for Ranger as well if I...
Counterpoint:
Yeah?
in hardcore, pre-hard mode is the majority of the game.
What?
If you're dying and resetting,
Okay, that seems like a you problem.
Nah,
Like,
I'm
nah.
just saying most people who play hardcore will spend more time
Yeah.
in
If
pre-hard
we're
mode than in
making
hard mode.
this for newer players, the tier list for newer players, then that's valid. But
okay,
from a meta standpoint,
yeah,
mana regen is so good. Like, you basically can't play mage without it.
you
Mage is
can. It just
useless without the
sucks.
potion.
Yeah.
No, mage is straight up useless without mana regen.
No, no,
I
because
genuinely believe that.
minions in boss fights will drop mana stars. You can get the star statues. There's ways to get mana. It's a bit more
Dude.
annoying, but
Right, but
it
minions-
exists.
Oh my gosh, I'm not using mana star statues. That's so cheesy.
How is it
I would just put it
cheesy?
right below mana regen.
I
are
just
the
don't like
statues-
doing that.
How are the statues cheesy while the potions aren't? They do the exact same thing.
I don't like relying on things that, you know, if you got bad world generation, you just could not have in your world.
I feel like you always have a.
That's more of a preference, though.
Anyway, I guess I could see it being lower than mana regen, but I
put
definitely
it
think
just
it's
below
better
mana
than
regen.
mana power.
It beats magic power.
It's like
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. It's very good regardless.
Okay.
And then nanite and
nanites.
poison just on
Hold
tier
on.
with I mean nanites is
Poison
bad,
has a use
right?
case.
Like
Nanites. Why?
Poison- does.
This is like.
Poison is like
This
I
is
guess
post
just-
Plantera, by the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is it? Dude, you're rage baiting Honeyfin so much.
Honeyfin deserves to be rage baited.
You know, I'm not a fan of Honeyfin, but I feel bad for Honeyfin enjoyers right now.
Just for poison, I would put
enjoyers
it
need
next to
stop
fire.
enjoying it. I feel like this
'Cause-
isn't as good as fire. Because
I'd put it right next to fire, just right below.
I feel like poison is a more
So
common
before you get
payoff.
fire,
Yeah. I
but just
I
like
can't-
before
It's a
you get
decent bit
Hellstone,
cheaper.
you can use it.
Eh.
So yeah.
Okay, any closing remarks that we have? This went so far over half an hour. I don't even know.
Yeah,
Like multiple
for real.
hours now.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
satisfied with the
It's been
list,
like 2.5.
personally.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about the healing potions. I think they shouldn't have been included. But
Agreed.
Yeah, I think it muddies the waters, but I don't know. Just use some sort of healing potion, and you're doing great.
yeah, I think our tiering of the healing potions generally makes sense.
Yeah.
Restoration, greater
In
healing.
relation to one another, yeah. In relation to other potions, it's kind of hard to make a judgment.
It's
on
hard
that,
to
but-
tell, but I think we did a good job.
Yeah, yeah.
So looking at the distribution, S tier is pretty limited beyond the healing potions, right? It's just
Yeah,
Featherfall,
you have,
Recall,
you have
Regen,
the game
Iron
changer potions, and you also have the free potions.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this should just be a statement to anyone watching how good these buff potions are in S tier.
Yeah.
They're so good. Game changers.
Actually, I'm gonna get rid of all the healing potions so it's a bit more clear. Hold on, can I not unplace a potion? What?
you have been doomed. Just put them into F.
No!
Throw them
Okay,
down
yeah,
to the bottom
yeah,
of F.
Let's go get rid of all the healing potions to make the rest of the stuff more clear.
Restorations in S.
Okay.
There we go. I feel like this buffs
Oh,
Honeyfin. Also
Plain
lesser
healing
in B.
is in B
Yeah.
still. There you go.
Okay, let's go put them in the nice order.
So most potions are just in C. They're just like, yeah, they've got some uses. They're all right.
Yeah,
I
like
think this is pretty...
yeah, S tier and A is quite illuminating in my view.
Yep. Everything in
think-
S tier and A makes your game like significantly easy.
So the way we have it, S tier is like you're gonna use these all the time in every run. A tier is like these are good but kind of hard to get or a little situational, pretty much.
Yeah. B tier is still like you're using these in basically almost every run. It's kind of hard to quantify the difference between low A tier and B tier.
Yeah, I think overall in B tier they're just more niche use cases as well as potentially harder to get. Like,
It's
for
hard to-
example, danger sense is pretty good, just more niche use case than like archery and swiftness and like
Yes.
I'm looking at this
So-
and I'm starting to wonder if I overrated Shine Potion, because I don't think it's actually better than like mining and building, but I also don't know if Heart Reach is better than those.
that's one thing, is like, particularly rating this for hardcore, it's difficult to rate the difference between just like utility and survivability, right? Because like Heart Reach is like essentially a survivability potion. It can help you survive, whereas Shine, more or less, just kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna like
So-
move this down a bit. I don't think it's actually better than mining.
I'm happy with that. I was not believing in Shine being that high, honestly.
I also don't think Heart Reach is better than mining, to be honest.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. I don't think very highly of mining either, but it is useful. It's got its
I
moments.
think mining is just really good at really early game if you get it. Beyond that,
Early hard mode, pretty good there.
yeah, just for mining the ores, but that's it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm surprised by how close the different flasks are together on the post and pre-Ichor flasks.
what are some like underrated potions, I guess, and overrated?
Ooh, okay. Here's my list of underrated potions. Number 1, Night Owl. I think that's really good. I mean, okay, number 1, Featherfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just people don't know what it does, but it's
Yeah.
really good. I really like Night Owl. I just
Hold on, I think
value
recalls are
usability.
probably
Good.
also underrated because people don't
Yeah.
recognize how
That's true.
overpowered they are. Yeah.
That's true. And then I would say Builder gets underrated quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because like people tend to think like, oh, it's useless, but for early game hardcore, it's pretty good. And then my boy Flipper, come on, water arenas are awesome.
They might be fun, but I can't think of a single legitimate time that
No,
I thought
it's
I
just fun.
needed a water arena here. This will help a boss fight be easier.
No, 100%,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
I think Calming Potion is a bit underrated, and then of course Featherfall and Recall. I like
Yeah.
Calming Potion a lot whenever I do have it, so I guess I'd recommend trying that out in your hardcore runs if you manage to get it. Like if you're fishing in the sky for whatever
maybe I'll
other reason.
remember to craft it in my next hardcore run because I do sometimes skyfish for bundle.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll actually remember. The
20% mob cap is pretty good.
Yeah, the one
Can't say
issue
so.
I will say was fishing more recently is that bundle is now always available in hard mode from the sand elementals or whatever. So there's much less of a reason to fish extensively, but it doesn't remove the shiny red balloon requirement. So there's still some sky fishing that you will do. It does really depend though on just how much you want to max out your loadout. I'm of the view of I want to progress at a fairly quick pace, kind of like what you guys have defined as like a speed through of like a boss an hour. I think my Ranger Master Hardcore run, I wasn't trying to go particularly quickly, but I did do all the events like on tierish. Yeah, I can't actually remember a single boss I skipped besides Deerclops. I think I did every boss and event in the game besides Deerclops for that run, and it took a bit under 20 hours. So I think that's a bit more than 1 hour a boss. I would say that's the rate that I will usually go at for hardcore, which means that a lot of this fishing stuff, like for frog leg and stuff, I just won't do. I think it's excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other
We just
people,
have
I agree.
people will do
Multiplayer's
that.
whole different beast.
Yep.
In terms of hardcore.
It's it's mostly you gotta fill the time while you're waiting for other people.
Yeah, I think I'd be very interested if we could get a larger speed through going, because I think then we might see more of this Fearless coming into play. Because you'd have to
I do
play
think
more of the
speed
meta flask
hardcore
stuff.
is going to improve a lot of the people here a lot when we eventually get around to speed hardcore.
Yeah.
As a final note, Adventure, check out the clips I sent and see if that changes your mind on any of these.
Okay. I'm gonna go stop recording now because we've done this
Sure.
for like almost
Yes.
3 hours. This is Well, anyway,
That's good.
this was like my attempt at making a Terraria podcast sort of thing. So we might do like more of these rankings. As I wouldn't really say this is like a video that like anyone should be watching, despite there technically being images on the screen. I think this is like more like
It's
something you would.
this is more
have in the
educational
background.
content. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like more something you put on in the background, and like the video is like a nice side thing if you ever want to alt tab to see like what we've done so far. But yeah. Next discussion is presumably armor tier list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for armor.
Okay.
Armor.
Okay.
I like armor. Pretty good. You should use it in hardcore.